Album Concept Hour. The Album Concept Hour. It's the Album Concept Hour.
That's right, everybody. We are finally diving into one of my favorite bands that I have not actually listened to the discography of, but they hold a special place in my heart. We are talking about They Might Be Giants' Flood from 1990. I am your host, Brad LeBaron, and this is the Album Concept Hour. And we have our co-hosts with us. We have John on the screen and in the studio. What's going on, John?
Oh, doing pretty good there, Brad. How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. I'm
man.
liking this this choice of music today,
Yeah,
bringing back
me
some
too,
memories. And then we have virtual Jake the Snake Foster. What's going on, Jake?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good.
Cool. Well, do you know much They Might Be Giants before this, or is this your first dive?
A little bit. A
Okay.
little bit. I've definitely
Okay.
heard them before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we'll get our guest in the room here, too. We have a very special guest for you today. We are starting, I don't know if we'll call it this, but it's going to be like a month straight, just about, of Inspector 34 members. You remember them from the Love My Life episode a while back.
The best episode.
I think it's definitely up there. It's one of my favorites. It was we had the whole band except for Ben. Rest in peace.
Rip Ben.
Yep. Who is actually going to come on the
He was fine.
podcast
He was
as well.
actually fine.
Oh, that's good. But rest in peace, Ben. And he's going to be on the podcast as well. I think everyone's confirmed at this point. But today we have the keyboard player?
Yeah.
Keyboard player of
keys.
Inspector 34. And he is also in the bands FOMO Surfer and Pleasure Center, and also a member of the Sad Milk Collective. We have Silas Price. What's going on?
How's it going?
Silas?
What's going on?
Oh man, it's so good to have you back, man.
Applause.
Yeah.
Great to be back.
Yeah.
Everybody spend a Thursday night.
Yeah. No, I've ever since you guys have been on, like, I've just been like, man, like, these guys all have cool projects. Like, let's figure out that is about. Yeah, listen.
Is that a feather, Jake?
I
Sorry.
don't know what that was.
Okay.
I just looked up.
Just
Check
drifted.
instant replay when
Just
you got
drifted
time,
down.
Brad.
Yeah, we'll maybe throw in a slow mo if I can figure out that effect in my
All of a
program.
sudden, I looked up and
Quick zoom.
What was that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Sorry, easily distracted over here.
Oh no,
But yeah.
that's all right.
There'd probably be more.
It is a common problem on this show. So
Oh yeah.
we're all
Perfect.
easily-
we get
So we
very
got 19
distracted.
songs to get through. So
Yes,
We do.
yes.
We
It's
do.
a long
Take
one.
our time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not long. It's just a lot of songs.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not.
that's
It's
not
a
long
standard
enough.
album length.
But to the time frame in the podcast, it tends to always be longer.
Yeah,
So
Every
I've
time.
noticed.
yeah. We'll
Every
we'll
time.
figure it out one
I
day.
think we
we'll-
had like,
we'll
how
balance
many
it
did
out.
we have? 11 tracks on the Outlaws album, and we stretched that one over 2 hours. So.
Yes.
No matter
Sometimes-
what.
Sometimes we manage to take a very short album and make a very long podcast about it.
Right, to all the listeners, recommend you play this episode at 1.5 speed, except for the parts where there's songs, because then it'll sound
Yes.
pretty weird.
Yeah. Then it'll be a different kind of adventure. I wonder, do people listen to them on slow podcasts? I wonder. I know it's an option. But
I've not done that, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure it's.
I know.
I'm sure there's good reason.
Yeah,
I've
probably.
played around with it. It's interesting to listen to everybody.
Yeah,
you know?
People just sound drunk as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that
They're-
too. YouTube videos and have a good time.
Slurred, and
Yeah.
you're thinking what they're talking, and it's slow thinking.
Yeah, no. If you want to have some fun with that, go look up the Predator laugh and then slow it down by like half. It is it's fun. But yeah, we're getting into a band that I really enjoy. They Might Be Giants, and this was your suggestion, And yeah, I mean, I at first I was like, oh, is it a concept album? But I'm like, no, they might be giants. Like every song's kind of another fun concept.
Yeah.
So
This is interesting thinking about an album concept because I'm pretty sure this album is very much anti-concept.
yeah,
It's very much of like a variety show. It's like
Hey,
there's
that's
no
the concept.
Yeah,
there's
I
no
can see
underlying
that.
theme
That's
really.
awesome.
And that's the concept.
That's the concept.
yeah, but there is a theme too, you know, and like
yeah, we're
yeah.
gonna spend this episode trying to figure out what that theme is.
Yeah, well, it's kind of. I feel like there's a lot of irony here. You know, a lot of.
Oh, it's steeped in irony. for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Like I like the way that they approach like lyric writing. In some, well, the next track we'll get into that one a lot. But
So
yeah, what's up?
So seeing as how it was your pick, why don't you tell us a little bit about your history there?
Well,
They
They Might Be Giants was probably the first band I really got into, and it's one of those bands that's really easy to. Once you're a fan, you have to be a super fan because they
Yeah.
have so many albums. They have so much
Yeah,
detritus, like demos, materials, like one-off, like
yeah.
hits and pieces everywhere. They do a bunch of projects. They have like maybe 20 albums at this point. They've been a band
Yeah.
for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, there
and they have
was
so much.
the time when
It-
I was trying to get into them. That was kind of part of the hard part. Is that very thing? Is like there's just so much.
There is so much. They've done
Yeah.
TV themes. They've done
Yeah.
soundtrack work. They, of course, there's.
Children's
We don't even
albums.
get to talk about Dial a Song.
Oh yeah.
They're pioneering call a phone number in New York and they will give you a new song every week. Service.
Oh,
Nice.
is that how that came about?
Yeah.
Because like, okay, I was gonna mention Dial a Song because that was my connection to They Might Be Giants. My
really?
friend that lived with me at the time, he had Dial a Song on our Winamp, like a playlist of a bunch of those.
Oh, I do
songs.
remember that little app that was.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved Winamp.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would listen to that in the background while we were playing video games, and like all of the songs became just like classics for me. But yeah, I know. I think that you can kind of tell a little bit in FOMO Surfer.
Oh yeah, they're a huge part of the DNA
influence.
of FOMO Surfer.
Yeah,
definitely.
you have one album that's got two themes. You got your head theme and your egg theme.
Yep.
You know?
Eggs. And yep.
Yeah. But yeah, when did you start to like play, like pick up an instrument and add your contribution?
I've been playing piano since I was like 5 or 6. Like I don't know for what reason my parents thought it'd be a good idea to give me classical piano lessons, but
Foresight.
yeah.
So it's a good starter. I started
It
on
is a good
piano
start.
too.
Yeah.
Didn't last long, but
I lasted
Good.
I lasted for till college and
yeah.
became pretty good, but there's a lot of weird I don't know, psychological junk that comes
Clicky
with
stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
I know a lot of jazz students. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's very similar.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why I got into rock, and that's why one of the reasons I love They Might Be Giants is because like they're the main or one of the songwriters on there is like primarily a keyboard player and the
Yeah.
accordion player John Linnell. And he,
Okay, that is accordion.
that is
okay.
an accordion. Yeah.
Okay.
There's
I
accordion all
wasn't
over this
sure.
album.
Yeah, because like it sounds like
I
I don't know what it is about it, but it sounds like different somehow. It's not like your
Yeah.
Weird Al
It does
accordion.
sound a little
you know?
synthier. Yes.
Yeah.
would
Well,
agree
I'm
with
sure
that.
some of the accordions on the album are sampled.
Well, it seems
I know
like from the notes they do a lot of sampling and a lot of
Yeah.
weird sounds. Oh, hold on. We have
We can
Dave-
talk about that when we get into the individual songs too. 'cause
Yeah.
that's-
We have our other co-host coming into the podcast right now.
Oh, there's another one?
Dave?
yeah. We have Dave coming
Virtual
in.
Dave dropping in like the A-bomb.
Hold on. There he is.
Dave.
What's up, Dave?
Boom.
Here he is.
Shamed.
Long day at the warehouse.
No, you have no idea how much life sucks without a phone. I've been trying to
Oh,
reset
that's
my
right. Yeah,
passwords
your phone
forever.
broke. Your phone broke this
Right.
week.
Oh no.
Oh my god!
And so normally, like, oh, type this number in. Are you trying to get into email? Yes, I am. Thank you, because it's all connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sucks.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
I can see
Man,
the
I feel
stress
your
that it's
pain.
added to your existence.
I had my phone wiped one time, and I had to do the same stuff. It took
Yeah,
me forever to figure out what my passwords were.
I was literally just
feel
like,
your
I'm
pain.
done for night. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna just have a few beers and go straight to bed. I don't care anymore.
Yeah. Well, you got in.
Now you're
this
locked
is-
into the podcast.
This is
That's fine. I'm good.
This is virtual Dave.
Please have
And-
a couple beers, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheaper's
You've earned
criminy,
it.
man. You've earned it.
But yeah, I was just introducing Silas Price. He was on the Inspector 34 episode. He's the keyboard player for Inspector 34, and yeah, we were just talking about how Silas got into it. What was your first group of the three that you're a part of?
First group was actually, I think it was Inspector 34.
Okay.
Actually,
How long has that been around?
Well, it's been Jim's baby for like 11 years, but
Okay.
he got the band together in 2016,
Wow.
and then a year later, I started doing stuff as FOMO Surfer. It's a solo project,
Yeah.
but it was like
Okay.
there's this particular mindset that I was in that started. I don't know, the concept of FOMO Surfer.
Well, yeah, you've been pretty consistent. Like, you have an album a year since 2017. So,
And more than that, I think.
well, on Spotify, that's
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure where the other stuff might be, but yeah, that's even just one a year is a lot, honestly. But yeah, it seems like you stayed pretty busy with your music, and you have an EP coming out for Pleasure Center. Is that right? Don't you?
We have
are you
an
working on
album
one?
coming out.
An album
some-
coming out.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of mastering it right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But the idea behind Pleasure Center is even more sounding like They Might Be Giants than FOMO Surfer does.
That's awesome.
Well, is that you and a few other people?
It's me and one other person, and
Okay.
the idea behind Pleasure Center is that we have to write and record as many songs as possible in like a short time. So we try to like get together for one day and we
Very
write and
random,
record
huh?
3 songs on the spot.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Wow.
a
That's
few
a
of
good
those
process.
will comprise an album.
Write
3 of those
and
sessions.
record 3 of them
Yeah,
on the spot.
yeah. So there's a lot of drum machines, there's a lot of looping and
Okay.
That's awesome, man.
goofing off and really stupid lyrics.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
And it's great.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man,
Right.
miss writing stuff. But
So, anyways, coming back to They Might Be Giants.
yeah, I was about to say, yeah, you guys
Yeah.
want to jump into we listened to the first track at the
theme
intro
song.
there. It's a short track, and it's literally just telling you like, hey, this is
This is the album.
They Might Be Giants album. This is 1990. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, really great intro for the project. You know everything that's
band.
happening.
On their I think the reason they made a theme song is because it was technically their major label debut. Like they'd had a couple albums on independent records, but this was on Elektra,
Yeah,
which was a big
yeah.
at the time, huge
Okay. Well,
sort
yeah,
of indie but
'cause-
more mainstream record label.
yeah, because they'd had a few before this, right?
Yeah, they'd had a couple. This is their third album, I think.
All right, this is one of my favorite songs, "Birdhouse in Your Soul," and yeah, watch the music video if you haven't. But here is
Oh
the
man, music video is amazing.
music video is nice. Here's the clip I chose.
Blue canary in the alley by the light switch. Who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a pine on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul.
Yeah,
Banger, straight banger.
had to pick the
Love how
chorus.
80s this whole album sounds.
I think it is very like inspired by 80s sounds.
And I'm pretty sure
Would
the
you
Mountain
agree?
Goats were
Well, I mean, it is
listening to
80s
these guys,
sounds
too.
technically. This is 1990, so This is like the tail. You know,
This is the
everyone knows
tail
that
end.
until
They
like
were making it in
93,
89, people.
until like 93, it was still the 80s. You know.
Yeah, basically.
As
long as those drum machines are front and center, it's the 80s.
Yeah, but it's
Before just before grunge starts to become a thing.
Yeah, but I think this is a little higher, higher fidelity even than a lot of the '80s stuff. Like it sounds more '90s to me than '80s.
So I think there's a bit of trivia for this album that's like 2/3 of the recording budget was spent on 4 songs, and this is one of them. They got the producers behind "Come On Eileen" to help them out.
No way!
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So that's why it sounds like really nice and polished, and it's like this is the single. Hitting you over the head with a hammer that this is the lead single.
Wow, I didn't know that they put that much actual effort into. I thought it was just like this is just something we came up with one day. Blah blah blah.
That's fantastic.
That's really
this
cool.
This is like them trying to figure out like what a major label wants, and like from a big album.
Well, and so what I love about it is it's extremely vague, right? The lyrics are
wicked cryptic.
Very cryptic, especially if you're watching the music video. It's even more so. But today when I was reading the Genius Notes, they gave me a revelation about this song. And I think it's a theory that I completely subscribe to. And they say, let's see, this might be, the direct meaning can be debated. This one seems to be more of one of the simple cases, however. This song is about a nightlight from the nightlight's point of view.
It is about a nightlight. That is so weird.
And all of a sudden, I'm reading these lyrics again after, so many years of having this song in my head.
Ah, jeez.
And it's so literal if you look at it from that perspective.
In the Outlet by the Light Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like it's tricking you in the fact that it's not actually cryptic. It's just made in a way.
I mean, I think the verses are pretty damn cryptic,
but
verse 2 is
if you
awesome.
have the clue, it's like
it's like it's like a David Lynch film.
Yeah.
Something.
Oh my god.
I think I get it, but I'm not sure, but I like it.
I think they call that the
or
eye.
Or you get
eye
this
of
one
the
piece
duck.
of it, and then it's like, oh, the rest of it makes complete sense.
Yeah. The eye of the duck, I think, is what that's called.
The Eye of the Duck.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, it was covered on a other podcast I used to produce on called Pick Apart the Passion. Painter talked about that for a second. But it's absolutely an eye of the duck situation, but in this case it's the eye of the nightlight, like blue.
Yeah, the Eye of the Canary.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just so from that lens, it's kind of just a fun song that he's just saying, I'm gonna basically protect you from whatever,
From the monsters under the dark,
The monsters under your bed.
But yeah, earlier today I think was when I had the revelation. I was reading through and I was like, what the oh my god. But yeah. This is a lot of people probably heard this one. It's like you said, it's their hit.
Believe it or not, this is still not the one that I like. I did not recognize this one.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we'll get there. We'll get there soon.
I think
no, I know.
yeah, I think with They Might Be Giants, it's like different people maybe remember different, because they do a variety of sounds. Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty wild album altogether.
Yeah.
It's very much variety.
Yeah. Didn't they
It's
do
an awesome mixtape.
I was gonna say, didn't they do a track for Austin Powers?
I think so. Yeah. There's like the Dr. Evil.
Yeah,
song
I
about
believe.
Dr.
Yeah, it was on Dial a Song. Yeah, something. Yeah, it's a woman singing, I believe, not one
it's
of them.
It's John Flansburgh's wife, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
She drops in occasionally. Not here. I don't know if they were a couple yet. But
okay. Yeah, but there's one song that reminds me of that. We'll get to it, but
sure.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on this track though? Besides just,
Man, just a fan always hearing a Hometown Spirits play this, so that was always a trip for me.
Oh wow, that would be fun live. That'd be it's kind of an odd
It is, but everyone's happy and dancing.
Does everybody do the
Yeah.
Birdhouse in Your Soul dance? Like
I tried a few times.
the box, like robot
like the-
jumping backwards, whatever that is.
I like I like how verse 2 is like really referring to like the Odyssey shit, like Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh yeah,
You know, there's-
you're right. Yeah, that's probably the part where it gets most like confusing if you don't have
I'd
the
be fired
information.
if that were my job. After killing Jason off and countless screaming Argonauts, Bluebird of friendliness, like guardian angels, it's always
Yeah, it is always kind of like just like going off on a tangent and getting distracted about like what you're actually singing about. I don't know. That's how I
Yeah.
kind of how I always pictured it.
It does sometimes seem that way on a few tracks, especially like it's almost like when you have one of those like an effortless rapper that like seems like it doesn't take any, like they're not, they're just letting the words come out sometimes.
Yeah. Stream of consciousness.
Yeah, stream of
Yeah, there's
consciousness, that's the
definitely a lot
word.
of that
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
in
yeah.
there.
Definitely.
Because it's like the words aren't really supposed to, you don't really care about the words
Yeah.
in
yeah.
pop music, at least.
Yeah.
They're
this-
just there to decorate the
Uh-huh.
melody, the hook.
Yeah, this is almost meant to like subvert specifically us who are looking at it with a microscope. You know?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I think McCartney did some of that. I get a feeling from some of his stuff.
well.
back in the
McCartney did
day.
it because he could.
Yeah.
But
You know, he knew he had people listening to his albums in full.
yeah.
He knew he could. He
But
knew
well, yeah, I
somebody
love.
would
Well, he
figure
was
it
like,
out.
they were just. He was intentionally cryptic sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's get on to this third track. This is called "Lucky Ball and Chain," and I'll just play it for you guys.
Shake my tiny fist and swear I wasn't wrong. But what's the sense in arguing when you're all alone? Sure as you can't steer a train, you can't change your fate. And when she told me off that day, I knew I'd lost my home.
You want to talk about Americana?
Yeah.
This is straight up bluegrass.
Yeah.
MIDI bluegrass. but
Yeah. Yeah. I
country and
mean,
western.
I was gonna say, yeah, this sounds like mostly what's the word? Acoustic, natural instruments. Like less electronic than some of the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like some of them can get really heavy electronic, and then others are very, like you said,
Very heavy on the
bluegrassy.
accordion, this one, too.
Yeah, I love that accordion in
Yeah.
this
Man.
album.
Man,
That's good stuff.
Now that I think
He's
about
really
it, I think
killing-
half
he is
the-
really
half
killing
You
the
it.
never
song
hear
is-
that shit anymore, you know?
yeah. I like a good accordion. Like it is.
I tried to
pretty-
pick up accordion once, but
Takes me back to my
Oh.
childhood days.
it was too heavy.
I knew that line was coming.
Nice.
Apparently, it's the line "There Goes the Bride" as she walked out the door is a musical reference to the song "Today I Met the Boy I'm Gonna Marry" by Darlene Love, which contains
Oh.
a line that's very close to that. So
Okay.
there you go.
Nice. A little. I think he has a few like references to specific people that he was inspired by in some songs.
Yeah, the last one was a "Summer in the City" by the Love and Spoonful. Was they
Okay.
tried to apparently
Yeah.
do something like that too?
That's a commentary. Just like try and cop someone else's song and make it not cop, but like try and emulate it and
Yeah.
then just like go off on your own direction with it.
Yeah.
That's the way I write a lot of songs.
Yeah,
I think
I think
generally
probably the best way to.
I think generally like you are, inspired by the people that came before you and you
right.
try to emulate them, but it inevitably sounds like your own thing. You know what I
Right.
mean?
As it should be.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Every
mhm.
generation redoes it and, makes it new again.
It's also worth noting that this is since They Might Be Giants is a duo and this is the other guy's song. So
Okay.
Linnell, the
Oh,
keyboard
okay.
accordionist, wrote Birdhouse,
Nice.
and then John Flansburgh, the guitar player, wrote this one. And they go back and forth on the album between
to me,
the songs that they
yeah,
wrote.
because that I gotta be honest. To me, they are like the same person in my brain. Like I don't,
So
I don't know enough
thought
about
that they
either
were.
of
I
them.
thought it was only one
Differentiate.
of them singing for the longest time until I
Wait,
actually
how
was
often do
able
they
to
switch?
distinguish. Pretty much every song.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Dude.
Wow.
No. I had
They just
a
have like the
similar-
same voice. Like, or
Did you
a
think
very
that Whistling in the
similar-
Dark was sung by someone different? Because that's what I thought.
I just assumed he had a
man.
big range. Honestly, I just thought
No.
like the singer just had a
Bro,
huge.
dudes, I had a similar thing with like Cream.
Yeah,
Like I couldn't tell Jack Bruce from Eric Clapton sometimes.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes they're alternating verses.
You guys
too.
are blowing
I didn't
my
know
mind.
that
The
either.
same with the Beatles too.
Ugh.
what? No, of course.
There's 4 of them.
No,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. We all know Ringo's voice
I really,
as opposed to the others.
Mostly 3
Yeah,
for Sprinkle
Ringo's-
Ringo.
Yeah. What were you saying, Jake or John?
No. I really like these. I really like these lyrics of a stubborn man here, right in the middle. Like, I lost my lucky ball and chain. Now she's 4 years gone. Now she's sick of me. She's rattled on. She walked away from a happy man. I thought I was cool. I just stood there whistling. There goes the bride as she walked away. You know. Like,
Yeah.
It's just
That's
lyrics of a stubborn man right there. I can relate.
Yeah.
well, and I like the immediate like understanding that he fucked up in the song too. You know, he's like,
Oh, you always realize
Yeah.
that after.
like, yep, this is gonna be the one that got away or whatever. This also kind of reminds me of there's anybody heard of the Extraordinaires? They're we covered them maybe a few months back with the Matthew Carroll from the MCU Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. This really reminds me of that kind of that album with the like kind of bluegrassy, modern, almost neutral, milky kind of thing. You know?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I totally think this is like this stuff is reminding me a lot of like Mountain Goats, like when I listen to
Yeah.
Johnny G. You know, like it's that same vocal style. Or if you want to get poppy about it, you know, what's that 1,000 Miles song, the Thompson Twins? You know,
I will
it's
walk
that
500
same-
miles.
It's that same kind of like vocal style, you know that.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a really good good track. Show their versatility in the first couple of tracks, you know. But yeah, not much connected to the other two tracks. Like we were saying, it's a variety show on this one.
Yes.
So, this next one right here is a banger. This is probably the one that you've heard. I mean, I know
Yeah,
I
if you've
said that
heard one,
about.
it's probably this one.
I know I said that about Birdhouse in Your Soul, and I truly hope you have heard that one. But this one you probably heard. So this is Istanbul, not Constantinople. Goddamn.
So take me back to Constantinople. No, you can't go back to Constantinople. Been a long time gone. Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the works? That's nobody's business but the Turks. Istanbul.
That's great. Nobody's business but the Turks, people.
Lots of great
Mind
outros.
your business.
I just love the kind of fun way he's telling this like tale of like erasure of this, you know what I mean? Like it's such a happy-go-lucky,
An interesting choice of word for that.
Well,
but-
yeah, I mean, it's kind of what it's like. Well, you know, renaming and
yeah.
you
fair.
know, it's a fun way to talk about something that's potentially serious, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's also a history lesson,
Right.
You know, because
But the only history is that it's a different name. Really.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's not
So
really
much a
telling
history
you.
lesson.
He's not telling you.
It was this
about-
one thing, and now it's called a different thing.
Yeah.
The
It's-
same city.
Yeah, it's telling us not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you remember
It's also
it.
worth mentioning that this is a cover song, and a lot of people
It is.
aren't aware of that.
Okay.
thing.
Who is it
a
originally
covered
by
song,
then?
Yes.
It's originally by the Four Lads, this group it's from the 50s, I think.
Oh.
It's just like
1953.
Yeah, vaguely floating around in their heads when they were making the album, or probably.
Well,
I don't know,
I
making
can
the album or like playing
understand
it live.
why.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's a very catchy tune.
Yeah. It's kind of like
It's got a lot of classic elements to it.
you know, like the song that never ends. You know how like it's
Song
got that kind
that
of
never
it's got that
ends,
kind
my
of feeling
friend.
like you just want to keep on singing it no matter
Yeah.
what it was, and then you just kept on singing it forever just because. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
But no, it's got. I feel like you could just keep on singing this like forever. Like, it's just fun, jaunty too.
Constantinople.
But this kind of touches though on something that I want to talk about with Dave Might Be Giants, which I find really cool about them as a band. They have a Here Comes series where they're like, here comes the ABCs, here comes 1, 2, 3s,
Oh yes.
and like
From their mid-aughts foray into children's music.
yes,
for the children.
they made
all for the children.
informative, fun music for children,
Yes.
which is just
That was
like a
Actually,
cool
how I
thing to
got
do.
into them was because their first children's album, No, came out
Oh,
when I was at the formative age of 6 years old. And it was
dang!
the first CD that someone like actually gave to me,
See,
and then I just like had to.
that's amazing.
That's how it's done. That's how you get
Yeah.
new fans, is by breeding
Yeah.
them from
These rock
Fresh.
acts, don't know what they're doing. They need to
Yeah.
throw out
as
like
soon
a
as you
Kids
have
Bop every now
as
and
soon as the
then.
people who were your fans in your heyday have children, you need to hook those children too.
That's true. That's true. You
Proper.
got to do the Star Wars thing where like every
Yeah,
generation,
yep.
you have a new single that everyone likes.
A reboot.
Yeah.
When I
Like
moved back to
Aerosmith.
Madison, I remember seeing a flyer for one of their shows. It was like the kid-friendly shows. I'm like, I did not know they did this.
Yeah.
That was like 2009. I'm like, all right, well, good for you guys. I'm
Yeah.
sure there are probably people are bringing their kids to these things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they don't get to be as darkly comic
No.
on stage during the kids shows. They have to kind of tone it down a little bit.
Well, I remember playing in a band before I was 18. Like that was always a thing. Like, oh well, is this venue all ages? Because otherwise we can't.
Yeah.
We can't play.
Or have anyone go see.
Yeah. So yeah, until you're like 21, there's always that weird caveat being in a band. Yeah, we drink pretty crazy
I went
here.
to college in Platteville, man.
It's like
And I can
we
tell
put in.
you right now, I've been at parties.
Jake,
where
that was another feather. What's going on?
6 kegs were done by like midnight.
Is that the same feather or is it a different
Probably
feather?
is the same. I don't even. It's weird because I look up and I can't even find it. What's going on?
I think this conversation about drinking is a great segue into the next song.
Yes.
Which I always think of as like the big bar sing along, piano bar sing along.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. This is
It's
called.
just, I'm pretty sure it's just the two Johns and a MIDI piano for the whole thing. I don't think there's any other instruments.
Man, they really do a
Very
lot with that.
immediately strip it down
Yeah,
from these
yeah.
lush productions.
Yeah, I never noticed though with these guys. I don't know. I'm not. Maybe I haven't trained my ear for it, but this is Dead.
Did a large procession wave their torches as my head fell in the basket? And was everybody dancing on the casket? Now it's over, I'm dead, and I haven't done anything that
Yeah, I guess.
Amazing.
I guess you're right. Yeah,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
yeah,
That's a great track.
yeah. It's like I could definitely see a kind of pub kind of jaunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there one song
Like
off
a
of every
crowd of
album that
drunken
we do?
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Will people
We,
care
we
when I'm
always-
gone?
we have one song that on each album I swear we do that we're like, oh, that's a great
Drinking
great
song.
Yeah.
It's something that I think should come back in popular culture, because it doesn't happen very often. Like
Yeah.
the closest I've told
love
this on the
good
podcast
drinking
before, but the
songs.
closest I've ever experienced in my lifetime is when the Pokemon theme came on the bar, and everyone in the bar started singing along with
Ah,
it. It was the craziest thing.
good stuff when that
Drunkenly
happens.
There's probably
singing
some
the Pokemon
There's probably
theme.
some pubs over here in Massachusetts where they have, I don't know, some.
From what I can
Weird.
tell from the television from over there, yes. It seems like it's happening constantly.
I think that's probably where I figured it out from too.
Yeah. I think it was on why can't I think of it right now? That HBO show that everyone loves. That's really good. But
There's so many of those.
Game of
Yeah, that's
Thrones.
pretty vague.
Sopranos, Wire, Game of
Wire,
Thrones.
The Wire, yeah.
Okay.
See, it's gonna be in the top couple if you start. You know.
Except that's Baltimore. That's not Boston.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't minimize you
difference.
guys like that. It's just our
They both
state's
both
so-
have BPD though. So
Okay. What's PPD?
the police department
Oh, okay. That
or
goes,
borderline personality disorder. You can take that as a pun if
depending
you
on,
want.
Depending
if
on
it's
what
not- unless
your
it's pretty tasteless.
profession. Depends on what your profession is, I suppose.
Anyway,
But
Ed, the drinking song.
yeah, I think it's something
And
that
it's I love
should come back.
I love the theme of this because it's death to royalty, man. It's literally a death to royalty song. Like,
Oh, really?
Head in the
Oh,
head
yeah.
in the
I didn't really-
gas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
French.
yeah, they do
That
mention
is
that. Yeah.
straight. That is how French royalty died.
Yeah.
The last French
Guillotine.
Revolution that they had, they put them all in the guillotine, and that was commonplace in Europe for a lot of stuff. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
that's
man.
Very
Motherfucking
much, you know,
Celebrating the
Yeah.
fact that
Guillotine.
they're dead.
Yeah.
Eat the
And
rich,
it's
people.
like-
Eat the
Narrator
rich.
probably like wants his death to be that eventful, even though everyone hates him.
Who does?
That's what the narrator of this song. That's my take on.
Oh, yeah,
this
it's-
interpretation. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I couldn't tell if he was like wondering what people would think when he's dead, or if he like just knew that they would hate him. You
Man,
know,
you never know.
he seems to give an inkling that he's not very well liked.
You know what?
Yeah.
What I like.
But he's kind of
about
regrets it too. Like the line about making his 8-year-old brother have to be his personal slave. Like there's some like
Yeah,
floating bits of regret.
yeah, definitely.
Maybe he's suicidal or something. I don't
kind of
know. It seems like
subverts
something that
the-
would be.
Yeah, subverts the expectations a little bit, like he tends to do with flipping the script.
There's another John Linnell one, and he's particularly grim when
Okay.
he writes.
Okay, yeah,
Always
he's
in a
the-
major
he's- so
key
he's
and
the
always
keyboard-
extremely dark.
So he's the keyboardist.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I
Trying to
like
place them.
about this is the fact that it's such a drinking song to all of our ears. You know, it's that song. You've all known someone that's sitting there at the bar, half slumped over,
Yeah. Wishing they were dead.
Just wishing they were dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's the take on this.
Yeah, you have at least one. Yeah.
Just everything, man. Just
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we all know that person. We
Yeah.
all see
So my life is over.
that person.
Sorry, I'm clipping.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they're just gonna put my head on the guillotine. I'm done for the day.
something like that.
Yeah, John, you've had enough.
Yeah,
John, you've had enough.
it's true.
We're gonna
Sometimes.
chop your head off now because we hate you so much.
Damn. Well,
No, but
fellas, cheers to
It's
that.
yeah, kind of extreme though. Kind of extreme approach these days, but he's like you said, he's got that dark kind
Well,
of.
we try to stray
twist to his
away
stuff.
from the death penalty as much as possible.
yeah. We try to
Maybe we
stray.
should bring it back a little bit, but I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
not. Hey, everybody.
If you want to
free
be
love
judge, jury, and
everybody.
execution,
I love
then
everybody.
That's your
Yeah.
I
You ever,
can't-
prerogative
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
You can bring the death penalty back
No,
if you
it's
want. It's
wrong.
just that everyone else is going to call it murder.
I know it's wrong.
That's-
Because it's wrong. I get it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think the movie Dread speaks for itself, right?
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah. Oh, Dread 3D. Oh man, you gotta check that out, dude.
How about Judge Dredd?
It's good. It's a great action flick,
Alright,
but it's horribly like the situation's horrible. But
So the next.
yeah, I was gonna
song-
say, speaking about horrible situations,
Oh, boy.
we got this next track called "My."
There is a reason
Racist
we ramble on
Friend.
this. You guys
Oh,
ramble on
boy.
this.
Eventually, it comes
You get to
together
the-
sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, we'll listen to the track and then we'll talk about it. Your racist friend.
Feel like a hypocrite talking to you and your racist friend.
So we've all been there.
Solid one.
Yeah.
You're at a party, you're talking to a couple of people, and someone says a really, really off-color joke
It's just
or
horrible.
slur even. And you're like, what the fuck is this?
Come on.
Come on, man. What are you doing? And then your friend doesn't even call him out.
dude.
Your friend doesn't say anything. You know?
Like, yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah. And you know, sometimes you gotta make that decision. Like, you're gonna just walk away from this, you know, because
White
like,
people language be painful sometimes.
white people be painful sometimes.
White people be painful sometimes.
But yeah, I do like the way that like I said, he talks about some serious stuff, but like it's always so fun sounding.
We're back to
You know?
John Flansburgh behind the mic and
Okay.
with the pen.
Okay, so he's a little bit higher, I think, than
Yeah, he's a little less nasally, and I think more breathy voice. But they're pretty indistinguishable.
Yeah, they're both
Yeah.
they're both nasally, but just different.
I think John
kinds of
Flansburgh
nasal.
writes about he's still pretty like depressing, but he writes about more like petty everyday stuff like this, and about like whereas John Linnell's obsessed with like really dark existential dread.
I think that in a way they kind of meet in the middle.
Yeah, it's
with
like a
their
yin
music.
yang.
Yeah. Because you do get both of those things here and there. Like, it's not on this album, but that song about someone across the world, the other side of the world.
Anna Ing.
Anna Ing. Yeah. That one, like, I don't remember much about what it was about, but it really hit me well, like emotionally, like when I heard it. But yeah, they have some really, really just the chemistry between them is just great, and they've been together for a long time too. Big run for a group to keep creating together without getting sick.
They've
of
been
each other.
together for like 40 years at this point.
You know, you really got to appreciate
That's
when
amazing.
people can like keep that chemistry going
Yeah,
for that long. You know, like even if it's like that kind of partnership, like a creative partnership.
yeah,
That's really
It's very rare,
really
yeah.
That's
admirable,
hard.
You know,
It takes work.
That's really cool.
yeah, and they
Congrats to them, and congrats to them for this song. This is a
Yeah.
great song.
yeah.
You know, this has a really good message.
It's a great message.
Dang, you should have put this one out.
Yeah,
as a
and
single.
like, you know, this is 1990, you know, to put it in a little perspective. So I mean, like, you know, obviously
This
we
is
all know that
before stuff like the LA riots.
right before too. Cheap.
yeah. But
Wow.
like it's not something
Good for them.
I don't I
Great
don't
for
think this
them.
is covered a whole lot on
This is a good
rock
song.
music of the time.
Oh, definitely.
So
not, no.
like bluntly, you know, like if anything, it'd be like coded in some kind of like a metaphor or something. But this is just like, hey, you and your racist friend.
it's like
what the fuck?
it's like really making it driving the point home that this like more than whatever your ideas are, like this is just a really just like
It's
to use a modern term, cringe
yeah.
situation.
Yeah, because like a lot of times, like when you have like people that are very loose with that kind of thing, like, you know, they know that it's wrong. They know that it's like, you know, it's something that's like on the brink or something.
It's
but
so
like,
hard. It's so hard.
But this
though.
song is also pretty vague too. Like you don't know how racist they're.
Well, yeah,
are,
yeah.
what kind of.
well, like, you know, and a conversation can always happen at
The
these
song is the
situations
point,
too.
I
You know,
feel
if you
like,
do
you know?
call and be like, "Hey, that was messed up what you said." Sometimes,
Yeah.
like, you can have an
It is,
important conversation.
The conclusion of the song is
But-
that he.
but in
like,
this case-
confronts his friend. Yeah.
Yeah, in this case, he
Confronts his friend's friend.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe he doesn't want to be rude to the host or something.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know, hey, it's your friend that came over. What's up?
But it's also in the lyrics. He's like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry I said that," and he's like, "Yeah, but you still said it." Like,
Well, I was gonna say
Yeah.
the,
you can't
the
blame
best line.
you can't blame the booze.
Well, the best line I think is.
That's the worst part about the booze.
Yeah.
Well, I think the best line
Brings
here
out the-
is can't shake the devil's hand and say you're just kidding. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
because I mean, that's the whole point of, that's why racism is so damaging and difficult, is because it's, it happens in these kind of micro kind of ways.
Well, it's funny
Right.
that you use that symbolism, because when
Yeah.
I see that in my own head, it's shaking the devil's hand. Well, I don't mean it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Say yeah.
You
So-
know, it's just okay.
Yeah, and it's
All right,
it's great
I
that
see
they're
you.
confronting in the middle of this, like, pretty whimsical album. But But yeah, you guys want to get on?
But it's still the
Good
music
song.
is still
Yeah.
party music.
Yeah, it is. You could listen to this at a party.
It's so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody should listen to it.
Honestly,
at a
you could
party.
listen to this whole album. It's
Anybody
got some
that's
variety.
listening
Yeah,
to
this
this,
album is
next
just one
time you
big
go
party.
to a party,
Yeah,
put this
put
on.
Flood on. Yeah, yeah. And then we're on track
So
6. You can
worth-
have a discussion. What?
It's worth mentioning that the as a duo they sort of performed in the 80s as like a performance art duo. Where there
Oh,
was also in addition to the songs, there was a bunch of like skits and just screwing around that they would do, bringing puppets on
Okay.
stage, weird instruments.
well, that explains their music videos a bit.
Yeah, I think so.
The music videos definitely seem like art student films. you
Yeah,
know?
I think that was like that the
Yeah.
Brooklyn nerd.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. It goes way over my head, but
You gotta love the art
it's-
kids.
You
that
had to
came
be there. You had to be there.
Yeah. I'm like, it's
No,
really
dude, that
they're
whole,
doing
like-
that. They might be giants thing where they're just weird.
Like 77 to like the early 90s really had this whole just like generation of musicians that were like art school kids that actually made it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that
You
yeah,
know?
there are a lot of yeah. I think you're right. There are a lot of examples of that, especially in the
kids that
80s.
went to college or art school and then made it to be musicians or even some in some
I don't think
examples,
either of those
actors or
guys went to
whatever.
college though. I think they were just
Yeah, they
around.
did they just start getting.
for
one of
them.
them went to maybe for graphic design, but I don't
Okay.
think they were really.
But yeah, I mean, I think artists
Like
and
graphic design,
musicians
yeah.
roll around together a lot,
Yeah.
because you need someone to make your album art at some point,
For sure.
you know. But yeah, you guys want to roll into the next track here? We have Particle Man.
Oh, yeah. Another recognizable one, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Because this was this the one used in a Looney Tunes?
Yes, this and
things.
Istanbul were
Okay.
on Tiny Tunes.
Oh, and
I
Istanbul.
remember
Okay,
every
they both
morning
were.
like watching that show before school, and I remember these videos so clearly still. Like I loved it.
Yeah, for me it was. We'll play it in a second. For me, it was a Dragon Ball Z music video that I heard this song. And it was Cell and Mr. Satan. It was the main.
I'll have to
characters
check
of
that
this.
out because
I doubt it was. This was before YouTube, before cable internet. This was very early.
it's probably on YouTube somewhere.
Oh, it's somewhere.
I haven't
mean,
looked. I haven't looked for it. I guess I have it on a disc that most certainly doesn't work anymore. But yeah, it's. I had a lot of anime music videos
Write this down and look
growing
it
up. But this is Particle Man by the Might Be Giants.
Triangle Man hates person man. They have a fight. Triangle wins. Triangle Man.
So do you know? Is that an accordion?
The one doing the melody, I think, is probably a sampler.
Okay.
But
okay.
there's like the that's an accordion for sure.
Okay. Okay. I've been thinking that those are like the same thing, But yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. That's why I wanted to highlight that
Oh, yeah.
that solo there, because there's just so much fun. Like if I was seeing that live, I would have to like do a silly dance or something,
a fun jig.
Yeah,
Back to John Linnell on the mic for this one too.
Okay. I'm glad that you know each track too, because like I would be. I know
good
it's
for
probably on the
reference.
side of the Genius bar here, but I haven't looked because I'm just now finding out that they switched so much. But yeah. No, this is a stone cold classic as far as I'm concerned. This is just it's not much really about anything so
Yeah.
much.
But there is some sort
But-
of like weird narrative or some logic
Yeah.
to it, I think.
It's like a Dr. Seuss book or something. Like
Yeah. It's definitely got that
Yeah.
vibe.
yeah.
Except that there's like
That's
fighting.
funny you should say that.
Yeah, it feels like that, right? Like it's like Who's in Whoville or something. I don't know. Like
this character and that character.
yeah. This guy doesn't like this guy. They have beef. What was it? And then I like this Universe Man. He's got a watch with a minute hand, millennium hand, and an aeon hand. And when they meet, it's a happy land. Powerful man, Universe Man. So, oh wait, yeah.
Whatever
then-
that means.
Person Man.
Person Man.
Person Man was Krillin. That's right. It's all coming back to me now. Each of the characters was a specific one.
You must have took a really good hit
Makes
from that
sense.
frying pan.
Krillin sure got the crap kicked out of him.
Yeah, he definitely did in this video as well. He's always is. But
Still the strongest human on the
Yeah,
show, though, in the world.
still the strongest human, possibly in existence, but
Yep.
lowest on the totem pole on Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z.
Except for Yamcha, I guess.
Is he
Yeah,
depressed or is he a mess, fellas? I tell you.
I feel
I don't
totally
know.
worthless.
I don't know.
Who came up with the person, man? Degraded man.
I do like that.
Person man.
Yeah, that
Person
just
man.
question
Stupid waste of life.
into the ethos. You know, who came up with Person Man? Is this even a good idea?
Yeah.
Why are we person man? Why we not live in trees
You're right. It's
anymore?
kind of an existential dread thing
I
that's
do
been
like
dropped
air
into this
conditioning,
this
though.
You got all
I'm not
these.
gonna
You got
lie.
these infinitely small particles. They don't do anything. You got the triangle, the mathematical concepts of the
Yeah,
triangles.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
holy or whatever. You
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
universe, and then this stupid person, this hunk of flesh and rotting whatever.
Yeah.
Who came up with this stuff?
Yeah, we just die before
These other
we.
perfect forms, and then you have the person.
Yeah.
What a joke.
I don't get it, man. It's a sick joke, and
It's a sick joke. This life.
yeah, this
And
life.
that's what They Might Be Giants is all
They just
about.
they really just want to die. Those guys.
Yeah.
They've been hinting at it for a long time, but they're
40 years later, they're still. hinting at it.
yeah. I would hate if
Still
something
writing
horrible
songs with
happened to
titles
one
like
of them.
I Left
Get
My
along.
Body.
What did you say?
They're still writing songs with titles like "I Left My Body."
Right. No, they I know as recent as like mid 2000s when they came out with an album right then, like it was a really like more deep album than I was used to for them. Like it was some heavier subjects. They were talking about like war and stuff. I can't remember the
Was it the Else?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's the
That's a
Else.
strange one.
I really enjoyed it. It was like the first one I listened to start to finish as like a regular album because everything else was always like on shuffle or whatever. But yeah, it showed a very different side of of this band, a lot more serious. But yeah, this next song is not very serious. This next song is "Twisting," and it's kind of a callback to a simpler time in music. But here is "Twisting."
She wants to see you again. She wants to see you again. Slowly twisting in the wind. Twisting.
Yes, no, maybe.
In the wind.
I don't know.
Okay. You wish.
It's very. Oh yeah, no, I would.
No,
Yeah, it's not on.
it's the
I
same
just
kind
caught
of
what you
style.
were saying.
It's
But yeah,
same kind of style. That's what I was going for.
well, this reminds me of like, Twist and Shout, just
Yeah.
the twist. There, that was apparently. I don't know
Let's
what that
twist
dance
again.
is. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
what that
very much of a
dance
twist.
is, but
Except the lyrics are referencing, hanging,
oh,
twisting in the wind.
oh, really? Is that what this is talking about?
I mean, does that?
I think I might
that's
have
the
missed
picture
that.
that comes to my mind. at
Okay,
least.
okay, twisting
wants
in
to
the.
see you
Oh
twisting
yeah,
in the wind.
yeah, like a rope.
Yeah, spinning.
She wants to see
Yeah,
you
some
again.
interpretations. Obviously, she wants to see him slowly twisting in the wind, unloose,
Oh.
hung, killed.
Really, really bad end to this relationship.
Wow. So there's just another really dark track. That's been.
She set your goldfish free, and now she's sighing. Like she flushed your fish down the toilet, and
just for
Whatever.
shits and gigs.
whatever.
Just man, that's twisted.
yeah,
It's twisting.
it's
I guess.
twisted.
Yeah, yeah. I never. Yeah,
yeah, this song-
I
this
did
song
not
is
think
another-
much about it. I guess.
No.
But it's they do mention two bands that they enjoyed from back in the day called just the Young Fresh Fellows and the DBs. So I guess that's probably what they're hearkening back to with the sound.
Yeah.
I haven't heard either of those groups myself.
Me
But
neither, actually.
yeah, Just the genius giving me a little bit more information here.
What are their hits? I don't know if they have like hits, but they're probably like some
know.
obscure British bands. It sounds like.
Yeah, because the dBs is like like decibels. It looks like
Right.
Yeah. I wonder if they went by the decibels too.
The DBs.
The dBs. Oh, I love listening to the dBs on the weekend.
Looking this
The
up.
DBs.
Jamming out to the dBs.
Oh no, the DBs are American.
Oh, okay. That's too bad. I like to saying it in the British way. Sounded a lot better.
Now it's just the DBs.
Now it's just the dBs. But I don't have a good transition into this, but we got one more track, and then we're going to take a little break.
Yeah, and a side one.
Yes.
This is another one they spent a lot of money on.
Okay. And it's a play apparently on the Twisted Sister song "I Wanna Rock," and it's called "We Want a Rock." So here we go.
I'd hammer on my piglet, I'd collect the $7 and I'd buy a big prosthetic forehead and wear it on my real head. Everybody wants prosthetic foreheads on their real head.
Boy, that's yeah, that's
Everybody
a
wants
whole-
prosthetic foreheads.
You really got to
Real
digest
heads.
that one for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to look at
No
the lyrics.
idea.
This is very.
No idea
This is
what.
another kind of Americana thing where it's like there's a lot of repeated phrases that sort of change. It sounds very
Yeah.
much like a folk song.
It does. Besides the actual like lyrics.
Lyrics, yeah.
Yeah,
The
if you actually
structure
like
is
think about
is
it.
the same. But
Yeah.
The words make no sense.
Yeah. Everybody wants prosthetic foreheads on their real heads. But everybody wants to rock to wind a piece of stick around. Am I right? That's a phrase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wind the string around, yeah.
I was wondering about this metaphor about the rock with the string around it, and I was kind of wondering if like he's talking about like everybody wants like a home, like something to latch onto to call their own, or if everybody wants a weapon, like a rope with the stone attached to it. But I couldn't really figure it out because
John Linnell said in
vague.
2009 in a Rolling Stone interview, he said,
Reading this one too.
I guess the song is a metaphor. We have nothing to wind string around, wind string around, are lost in the wilderness, but those who deny this need are burning our playhouse down. If you put quotes around certain words, it sounds more like a metaphor.
What a joker.
What a jester.
Yeah.
He's
He's just admitting he doesn't even know it either.
Yeah. He is like the villain, the Joker, trying to sow chaos in
Or
music.
the Riddler.
Right.
Or the Riddler, even.
Hammering pigs. Like $7. You started like the clip on the weirdest lyric in the whole thing.
Yeah. It was like mid lyric, I think. Well, because like I wanted to get that forehead thing in because I didn't think that people would believe me if I just said it to them. It's it's a very strange
They need to hear
inclusion.
this.
It's a very strange inclusion, no matter how you look at it. It's like
Wait,
everybody
when did
wants prosthetic
hold on.
foreheads on their real heads.
I'm gonna look up when the next
Still
generation
don't
will come out.
understand that one.
I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. I like
Could be
it.
talking about Klingons. I don't know.
You could be talking about some, being
I
a
mean,
Star Trek
what
extra.
if we're talking
you
about
know?
some kind of future place where instead of getting fake butts, you get fake foreheads? I mean, jeepers,
Everyone
crime.
gets unicorn horns
Whatever. It's all
or
good.
other adults prosthetics.
Go get your extra.
I think if you
foreheads,
really,
people.
I think this is one if you really overthink it, your brain will hurt.
Yeah, it's probably one of those things.
Because
You know what?
it's structured in a very way that seems like it should be logical, but
I bet this is an eye of the duck thing again. I bet this is like Birdhouse in your soul. Like he's got one like piece of information he's just holding back. He's not telling anyone about. That if you knew, the rest of the song makes perfect sense. That's what I'm assuming just because I get all conspiratorial on this podcast. But
I mean, it is the album concept era. You're sort of like trying to find
It
patterns.
is
Yes.
the album
Yes.
concept.
Chaos.
We are here to sow more chaos than the chaos
By
he's
looking
even,
for patterns.
But while
By
we're
looking
Even
for
when there's not
patterns.
patterns.
right.
Yes, when there are no patterns.
It's a core tenet of
But
Discordia.
while we're sewing the pattern, well, while we're like throwing the patterns, we're also trying to sew it all together.
sow patterns, reap
Just
chaos.
bring the
Yes,
thunder
that's
and
our
lightning
motto.
to a root spot.
Sow patterns, reap chaos.
Cha!
Put it on a T-shirt.
So I'm being dramatic over here.
I don't know.
John's definitely reaping chaos right now.
Yes.
This show.
we are the most at our most chaotic selves when we are on the album concept hour, breaking apart these walls. But you guys want to get onto a little break though, and then we can finish the album. We have 10
10
tracks.
songs left.
Damn, we have 10 songs left. So we're gonna get through these ones a little quicker on the second half. You know how we do, guys.
We'll
And,
try, and it won't work.
Well, it took
Yeah,
us an hour
we'll
to get
attempt.
through these.
Yeah.
I was
So I
gonna say
imagine it'll take us
maybe
an
we just
hour
put them
to get
on
through
like a
the next.
timer to just go off at a certain time, and then
You know, I
just
did
have to
suggest
roll
that.
with it.
I did suggest that at one point. We may implement a timer at some point. But
that sounds painful. All right.
Yeah.
yeah,
that
just
sounds worse,
mid
honestly.
thought.
No,
Stop!
It's okay.
Stop talking.
Stop.
okay.
That's enough.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it
It's
wouldn't
probably
work.
worse for the
Union
listener, too.
mandated break. What?
It's probably worse for the listener too, honestly. Even if
Well,
we do ramble, like,
yeah.
oh, they were
I
talking about
wanted
something.
to hear you finish your thought.
There is
Yeah, yeah.
there's definitely those out there that are like, I want facts start to finish. I don't want anything
Yeah.
about your personal
that's why
lives.
I
Well,
like
that's
about
why
the
that's why
editing,
there's a
to be
wiki
honest
for
with
this
you.
band. So you
Exactly,
Can
yes.
Like, you
If you-
even added some
if
of
you
this out. Yada,
if you
yada,
didn't
but
like our
yeah.
talk about dialects across the United States, you can just read the Wikipedia entry for They Might Be Giants.
Yeah.
I mean, you
and we'll
you
post
get,
a link to that dialect map. So that
right.
Of course,
you get
of course.
both here, though.
Yes.
That's something you'd never
That's-
get on the Wikipedia for
yeah,
the band.
yeah. In fact, they should start adding our podcast to the Wikipedia as like a sound clip of us talking about the entries. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick break. I need to use the restroom, and we're gonna get back with more They Might Be Giants after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the Album Concept Hour. We are on the second half of They Might Be Giants Flood. I am your host, Brad LeBaron, and we have John. What's up, John?
Not too much, bro. Just chilling.
We have Jake. Hey, Jake, say your name or something so we know what you sound like.
I'm Jake.
This is Jake. And then we have Virtual Dave. What's up, Dave?
And I made it here. I found my password.
Yes, Dave is joining
Yeah.
us for the whole second half.
Go, Dave.
And we got a
I'm not jumping in mid-tier.
No.
I don't think you missed any songs though.
No.
Yeah.
You didn't miss
Except for
much.
the
Oh, the opening
first
track,
We did
opening
a
track.
cold. We did a cold open, but we also have our guest Silas Price from Inspector 34
What's going
and
on?
FOMO Surfer, Pleasure Center, and Sad Milk Collective.
Yes.
But we have a lot of tracks to get to. You guys want to jump right into this 10th track?
Stacked B-side.
Yeah. We're halfway through according to what I've set up, so we should be okay. This next song is "Someone Keeps Moving My Chair."
Someone keeps moving my chair. Would you mind if we balance this glass of milk where you visit a friend accidentally?
Now, this is one of my personal favorites on the album for sure.
Yeah,
Oh, yes, most
Yeah.
definitely.
it is. It's,
Very, very explicitly electronic too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like it's got the
Another
doom
one.
doom 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 doom. Like,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
saw, the heavy. Yeah.
yeah.
Digital.
I like the theme of it too. Like it's like kind of about petty like pranks, office pranks
Yeah.
or something. And the thing he's most concerned about is someone keeps moving his chair.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You've nailed the song.
Gosh
Yeah,
darn
yeah.
it, man. Why do they keep moving
Next
this chair?
Meanwhile,
What? I was just I just
while
want to
they're
say
writing reminders on the back of his head while he's not looking.
yeah, classic Office stuff. I mean, this is a pre The Office world. So
Yeah, yeah.
this is pre-Jim. So this hasn't
Pre-Dwight.
hadn't been expounded upon quite yet. He was a pioneering
Pre the
at this
Office
point.
movie, Office Space.
I think it's pre-Office Space.
Yeah.
Yeah, Office
this
Space
most
was
definitely-
99, I think.
99, I think.
Yeah. So this is
Office comedy.
yes, this is before
The
everyone
in the
realized
suburbs
how
of New York,
soulless.
where everyone.
Maybe
Yeah.
this is where the thought process started. Who knows?
I mean, I'm
fellas?
sure this is one of those bands that has inspired a lot of different groups. You know.
Well, we've talked about it. Like
This is
just
American
people,
Psycho
like, related
era
to
where
this
everyone's
stuff,
like
you know?
going to
Oh yeah,
their big Wall Street jobs in Manhattan, and then they're just like
yeah.
poked up and they're just fixated on the fact on that.
On that
Why is my chair in the wrong place?
yeah, and that damn card that has like the perfect border on.
Yeah, Paul
that
Paul
other guy's-
Allen's card is so much.
Yeah. Oh
cooler
my
than
god.
mine.
Yeah. It's so sublime.
I'm in the middle of the book right now. It's really messed up.
Oh man. Yeah. I
that's why I
don't even know. Is it a lot different?
Yeah, it's much darker than there's obviously much more graphic violence than in the movie. There's
Yeah.
that feather again, Jake.
Man, I keep
Really?
missing it.
Yeah.
I keep on missing it. I'm gonna definitely find a slow mo of that.
That definitely wasn't like a. Well, every time I bring it up, you can just like go back a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Editing stuff. Yeah.
That didn't. It almost would look like smoke, but it was definitely. Okay, sorry. Maybe I'm coked up now too. I don't even know.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe it's just being around this music is just.
Well, Brad always
tightening.
likes reasons for people to like go to Patreon and get the videos of the stuff, and this is
Yes, that's true. This is
it.
This is exclusive content.
Yes.
If you are on the patreon.com/flyoverstate park,
You will
You'd
understand
s-
what the heck we're talking
you'll
about.
see
when
what we're talking
this.
about. I'll
This
even throw in the
feather
slow
that's-
mo into this video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I forgot
I'm
I was
willing,
trying to be more entertaining
Cactus
these videos.
back.
I'm willing to do that.
Cactus.
the cactus.
Cactus.
This is there's the
Oh,
update.
that's so cute. It's got
Update on the
Oh, got
cactus.
an update on the cactus.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, there you
fantastic.
go.
Trevor will love this.
Yeah. We got like a new segment, our cactus update. This I love to think of this song with that character in mind, American Psycho. Christian. This is
Yeah,
from the
that's-
perspective of the Christian Bale character. Yeah, I think it's a little more fun
He
that way.
literally just doesn't. The only thing that's bothering him is that someone's moving that gosh
Yeah.
darn
that's it.
chair.
Yeah,
That's
It's
the
also
point
true
of
'cause,
this
like,
song.
And one of the tricks in American Psycho is like he's saying all these horrible things and other people don't really care.
yeah,
So it's kind of like just like these other people are being horrible to the main character in this
Yeah.
song, and he's just like completely distracted with something else. And
Yeah.
he is also Mr. Horrible. Like,
that's true. They established that early on in the song.
yeah,
Yeah.
the man's name is Mr. Horrible,
Yeah,
but he's talking to the ugliness man.
I guess
Horrible
yeah,
ugliness.
apples and oranges at this point. What's
They're all terrible people.
Yeah. And in American Psycho, I think that's generally the case, right?
Oh yeah, they're all
They're all just
horrid.
mouth-
They're all
mouth-
racist, but only one
mouth
of them
breathers.
actually like hacks people up and
Yeah, that's true. There's only one that takes it
Graphic detail.
that step further.
Yeah.
So,
the inevitable conclusion. If you
yeah,
will.
yeah. This is what is going to happen at some point with They Might Be Giants. Just going to go American Psycho and
Here's a creepy interpretation I found.
okay. here.
Someone
I'm here for
posted. Mr. Horrible is a criminally insane murderer on death row. The ugliness men are prisoners, prison psychiatrists trying to cure his insanity so they can go execute him. The unpleasant thing spilled on his brain is drugs. And alternatively, the ugliness men might be abusive prison guards, and the chair is not literally being moved. Rather, it's Mr. Horrible's date with the electric chair.
Interesting.
Oh,
That got real.
yeah.
fast.
I like that. I'm liking the dark interpretations of these, honestly, because I never thought of They Might Be
I think
Giants.
these
this
are
way.
kind of interpretations that reveal something more about the person interpreting them than the actual song.
Possibly. It could be one of those psychological tricks. Yeah. They could be
Yeah, like a
pulling it-
Rorschach test.
Yeah. They Might Be Giants is a Rorschach test of music.
Tell you, it's almost like you need a hearing aid to hear this.
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, I just shut mine off. What did you say?
It's almost like you need a hearing
Okay.
aid.
Well,
He's doing a
oh,
segment,
I'm not
Brad.
sure what he
I
said,
can't-
but I'm going to play the next track. This next track is called Hearing Aid.
What?
More coffee for me, boss.
This song is
The feel.
incredibly weird.
I love the feel of it. It's like it kind of reminds me of like a Richard Cheese kind of like loungy kind of deal.
Yeah, the dub vibe. Yeah,
Yeah, and the dub. Yeah, there's that loose dub thing there in the background too.
this is another Flansburgh track.
Okay.
The last two were Linnell, and now we get back to the genre experimental.
It's like some psychotic clown walking down like a dark like alleyway singing this. Like that's all I just picture some just
Yeah.
His name is
insane
Frosty,
vision.
right?
Like, yeah, that matches this song pretty good.
Yeah. Like if this was in It, for instance, like
Yeah.
you think it would fit?
Like his little dance number.
Yeah. I think that you're probably right. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, they mentioned that electric chair thing here.
Yep.
I've turned off my hearing aid. Don't say the electric chair is not good enough for King Lazy Bones, like me myself. So I think that the person that was making that assumption from the last track was looking into this one too. But
Yeah.
yeah. But I like the line here though. More coffee for me, boss, because I'm not as messed up as I want to be. I like putting coffee in that like perspective of like a drug or something.
Yeah.
I literally knew a guy at work who did that with just chugging coffee.
No, I
Till
know.
he was reaching a high.
No. My roommate
Drinks
he
coffee
gets headaches.
concentrate now.
Yeah, no. My roommate gets headaches if he doesn't have his caffeine fix. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, caffeine withdrawal, bitch.
It's also I think coffee is like the rock and roll drug that they Might Be Giants have chosen to be their
Yeah.
driving force of their
Yeah.
creativity and awakeness.
Because they don't seem like much of party animals, if you will. They don't really.
I mean, they like to party, but they like to party clean.
Yeah. They just like to.
It's a very, very wholesome vibe to them. But
Well, that's what
Definitely.
kept them together for so long, probably.
probably, yeah, honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
We did
it
a
helps.
whole thing on the band and
Ugh,
just drugs just mess people up.
galore.
Yeah.
do.
Fact.
Yep. I think it's the cause
Coffee
of.
keeps the engines.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's
As
a
David Lynch
reason
would say,
certain
bring it back to
drugs
that.
aren't illegal. Let's
Yeah,
put it that
poster
way.
boy should be Ozzy Osbourne.
They can't give us nothing.
Well, yeah, no, there would be a revolution tomorrow if coffee was taken away. But I this
Starbucks.
that line though reminds me of that Inspector 34 song. There is about a cup of coffee. Like I can't wait to have one again or something. We talked about it in the last episode.
Yeah,
briefly.
yeah.
But
That song was actually as the part of like a theme project where we had to write a song about coffee.
oh,
That was the coffee song.
That's awesome.
that's really okay. Yeah.
For
I
a
like
record
that. I like
that was located for a record label, like an independent record label, is located within a coffee shop.
Oh, so that was for a like did that go on like a compilation or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. I just saw it on the
Shout
format.
out to the Coffee House Without Limits in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Hell yeah, go visit that if you're listening close by,
Cool.
or at least pick up something at safe distance.
I have a very vivid memory of this song, because at the end of it, there's like that it sort of fades into this strange experimental guitar solo, and then there's this sound of a CD skipping.
Oh,
And you probably didn't get it. It
I don't think I
doesn't
caught
really
that.
register when you're playing it like on a computer, but when I was a kid and I just got the CD, I was like, "What the hell's wrong with the CD player?"
And
it-
No.
It's like that
Early
sound,
trick.
and
Yeah.
then
Early
it jumps
trick.
back into the guitar. So I'm like, "Holy crap! This is the song. The song is the CD skipping."
well, yeah, you're right. Digitally, you
That's when
wouldn't
I knew
think
that
that.
this band were
It
geniuses.
was really
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, because if you're listening to it on Spotify, you're gonna be like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
it
they threw
doesn't
that effect
register.
in.
But
Yeah,
if you're playing it a CD, because CDs were
Yeah.
a relatively new technology at the time, like people buying stuff
Yeah.
on CD.
it's kind of like a relic, like hidden tracks, kind of.
Yeah, which
Waiting-
they've also done, where they've put a track before the
Before the first
pre-gap,
one?
before the first track.
I love. Yeah, I had a band that I liked that did that once.
Yeah,
I was
and of course
always amazed.
we can't even mention Fingertips
Huh?
on their fourth record, Apollo 18.
Yeah.
which is just a bunch of short songs that you're supposed to shuffle because that was a new feature on CD players
Oh.
in
Oh,
'92.
they're cutting edge.
So yeah. So if you shuffled the disc, you get a bunch of like short songs interstitched between the bigger
Huh.
ones.
Back when that was a novel thing.
Yeah.
That's
Playing with
that's
the
I can't
mediums.
even. Yeah, I forgot that there was a time before shuffle. You know.
They also were the first band to put out an album entirely online, no physical copies.
Which one was that? Do you know?
It was Long Tall Weekend in '99. Not a lot of people have heard it because it's kind of still kind of a weird. But it was like
well,
the
yeah,
first.
I can assume. I mean, just from how they're putting it out, it was probably like
Yeah.
not everyone was on the.
No,
People were still in dial-up, so it was
It
probably
was
a
still
bitch.
too. It
Yeah.
was still too hip.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's been plenty of bands that have pulled that since. I know Radiohead, did
Yep.
one when I was
Rainbows?
Yeah, Rainbows when I was in like high school.
I remember when that was down. I'm like, I'll check it out then.
Polygon
I'll give him some cash.
Dwanaland by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard that you heard on the intro and you'll hear on the outro and on every podcast I do. Because they gave it away to free to the public. So, yeah, no, I love it. I love it when
99 probably
what's that?
it still took. If you release an album in '99, it probably took 2 hours to download it, even if it was MP3.
Oh yeah, if you have a good connection, I
Back in
think-
the day.
with a good connection.
yeah, and as long as nobody picks up the phone and
Yeah.
interrupts
Or
the
down the
connection.
street picks up the phone.
Try to
You
get
never
on
know.
the internet, Dad. Get off the phone.
And yeah,
I
if you
only got track 1. Oh, it's an instrumental. Oh,
oh, damn it.
All that work for nothing.
yeah.
Yeah. I was in a big family, so it was just like everyone. It was just
Oh,
it was
back
impossible
in
to
the
use
day,
internet.
problems, kids.
Yeah.
Speaking
You
of
don't-
instrumentals,
You and your
Oh.
Wi-Fi.
Well, it's
Don't
kind
even
of.
know.
It's not quite
Close
an
enough.
instrumental. It's
Close enough.
Yeah,
It's
there's
mostly-
two words. in
two
this
words
song.
and a scream.
Yeah. And I definitely heard this at some point throughout the years, but I have no idea where. I think this has just been meme-ified.
It's like some Ventures.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
I
it's
can't
just-
whatever song that like it just kept him like that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kind of returning
One
to
line.
that. Yeah. But yeah, this is minimum wage.
Minimum wage.
That's all you get.
Man, I want to see
all
this
you
Western so bad.
So wait, did they just get a big, was that all like live people doing this? Like, it sounds like,
The whip?
no, like a regular instruments like in a studio. This doesn't
Oh, no,
sound
those are
like
definitely samples.
this is
Those are
samples.
definitely samplers. Yeah.
Okay.
But the whip. So I was my roommate, who's over there in the next room doing drugs, probably. He used to work with the guy that was an engineer on this album,
Oh yeah, you
Roger
mentioned that.
Stroud.
Yeah.
and he apparently the whip crack took 4 hours to record, but it's just a wet towel.
Oh, okay.
It's not an actual whip.
Yeah,
Despite what he would have you believe.
yeah, that would be that'd be easier in the studio setting, because whips
Safer.
are pretty long, notoriously.
And notoriously difficult to record too in a closed space like that.
Yeah. And you probably break some shit.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Okay.
$1 million studio, you definitely.
That's a
Kinda like
pretty
be
good
live
sound
with it.
though for a towel. That's
I
pretty
think the wind.
pretty sharp.
I looked this up. Also, it was
After 4 hours, you get a good one.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably
Get one good
most
one.
of that time probably spent trying to figure out how to mic it.
And how wet you want to
yeah,
get it. There's probably
exactly.
a lot into
The
it.
exact wetness for it. Yeah. How damn.
I mean, this is way before ShamWow, so
yes. ShamWow was barely a twinkle in
Oh.
television's eye.
in this towel's eye.
Yeah. They just had regular
I
towels.
just had to go to jail.
Yeah.
But
I think the message of this song is pretty simple.
yeah, minimum
You're a
wage.
wage slave. You're a wage slave.
Yeah. It's,
We're the
Makes it sound
slaves.
fun.
Rise above, people. We
Well,
need
yeah,
to rise
that's what they're
above.
good at, is making horrible things sound fun. They might be Giants' whole shtick.
Yeah,
All right.
that's true. It's true.
You know how you rise above? You put a letter in the letterbox.
Yeah. Yeah. You put a letter.
You trying to do a seg
You put a letter in the letterbox. You mail your senators. Tell him how you feel about stuff.
Email, regular mail,
Call 'em,
snail mail, whatever you
Call
want
him
to
and
do.
tell him.
I think if you try and force a segue, John, I don't know if it works.
There's
I
use
just
a
have
whip.
to say.
Oh, were we doing a segue?
I think he was trying to do a segue.
Oh, okay, okay. Well,
Hey, I
this
love
is-
segues. Those are awesome.
Yeah, I've never been on one. This is called Letterbox.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
If I had a pair of eyes in the back of my head for each time you forgot to think of all the things you forgot to talk about when you took a bite out of my spine, I would have a lot of eyes on the other side, wouldn't I? Wouldn't that just be fine?
John Linnell said, I wrote the song about 8 years ago. This is in 1988 when he said this. Back when we were young and good.
Wow, that's a very sad statement.
Yeah, the good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
the good old days of before you were
I was gonna
bands.
say it has like a
Before
really,
we were all born.
yeah, it has a really intimate feel, unlike some of the
alright.
other tracks.
Yeah.
Um.
It's surprisingly much more lighthearted,
Yeah.
even than Birdhouse in Your Soul is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
But also
very
mentioning
sweet.
birds.
It's
Interestingly enough.
mentioning. Yeah, maybe he just likes to talk about birds.
It's
A
actually
bird.
a song about a nightlight that keeps a killer clown at bay. No,
I can imagine if you were moving from Lincoln, Massachusetts to Brooklyn, and the only thing that those two things probably have in common are cars and birds.
Yeah.
A bird is also a
It's like a
British
grounding.
slang term for a woman, apparently.
Oh well, yeah.
She's my
Like
yeah.
a chick in
Yeah.
the States. So that's when one of these interpretation things. So,
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, just put a
that.
bird on.
Just put a bird on it.
Bird up.
Bird up. Yeah. Everyone knows the bird is the word, and etc.
The bird,
et cetera.
the bird. The bird is the word.
But yeah, this is it's just a very sweet love song, which I wasn't expecting from them, especially like this late in the album. You know, there's another song that I think has a similar vibe too, but yeah, just a genuinely sweet song, and I think the quote that you mentioned, Jake, really kind of captures that more than anything. Kind of the sadness looking back or whatever, how
So you're like longing for like a message from this
yeah.
memory, but it's never gonna come.
But well,
Yeah.
it always seems like the memory's never going to be good either. Because like the line here, like, because a little bird never tells me anything I want to know. She's my best friend. She's a sparrow. I'll
bird.
never know when you never want to know. You know, like
Yeah.
it's almost like he's
yeah.
trying to keep it from himself. Then you know, like I can't. No.
Yeah, maybe kind of harkening
do
back
it.
to that
Nope.
earlier track about like the one that got away, where he's being
Lucky
a lot
Ball
more. Yeah, he's being ironic and funny in that track about it, but maybe this is like more of a serious take on that.
They might be Giants do for a band is usually just talk about death and stuff. They do have some really heartfelt like heartbreak songs in their discography.
Yeah,
Scattered around.
definitely.
Stuff like They'll Need a Crane also.
Oh yeah.
Don't Let's
yeah,
Start, a classic.
Yeah.
I guess Anna Ing is kind of in that category.
Yeah,
But that's
for
more
for
like
me,
it's
it
like a-
felt that way for some reason.
Yeah.
It just the longing,
Yeah, longing for someone who's on the exact other side of the world.
Yeah,
is
it was a
interesting
great-
person to.
Yeah, it just a
Think
great
about.
setup for an idea for the song. It really
You really
captured
feel
my
the
imagination.
connection, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And it's written by both of them. It looks like so. I wonder if this is, one of the first ones that they kind of put together. I wonder if they played this before, like live or something. But
Probably, yeah.
You never know.
I don't know.
I don't know if there's any like demo versions of this that are floating around, but it was probably in Dial Song. The thing they I think they mentioned about Dial Song is that it was a good way to tell if songs that they had written were good or not, because if they were bad, people would just hang up. So like that's
Yeah.
how they like sort of pruned out the wheat from the chaff, sort of so to speak.
Oh wow, Jesus!
And
These
also
guys
in
are
the
really like
Wow.
at the forefront of
They're really
the
thinking
technology
ahead, yeah.
stuff. Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of how we listen to pop music now. If it's not good in 4 seconds, we can just go,
Yeah.
go to a
They
different
were
song.
they were already like immune
There's
to
hundreds
that
of more
kind
songs
of
right behind it too.
yeah.
You know, Motown really pioneered that. Barry Gordy would listen to everybody, but if he didn't like it within like 20 seconds, most times he'd dismiss you.
Get out. Nah, this is no good. Get out.
This ain't good for the factory. Nope.
Yeah.
Go.
I got 5 more bands outside that want to try this out. I don't got time.
Yeah.
Sorry, kid, you don't got this.
Sorry, kid.
You don't got what it takes.
You don't got what it takes. Go back to
Go back to the club.
whatever they did back then.
Go back to your minimum wage.
Minimum wage.
Go back to
That's that
Driving the
that
milk
line
truck.
minimum wage I think just pops into my head every so often. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I
is
mean?
kind of like a meme.
Yeah, it's a real little earworm.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys want to get into the next track, Whistling in the Dark?
Another one of my personal favorites.
This is number 14, and yeah, I'm just gonna play it.
There's only one thing that I know how to do well, and I've often been told that you only can do what you know how to do well, and that's be you. Be what you're like, be like yourself. And so I'm having a wonderful time, but I'd rather be whistling in the dark.
Hey.
Whistling in the dark.
Hey.
Boom.
You just,
Hey,
it's late night after a
really
bar
in
and you're
the dark.
walking to your car anywhere. Like if you're not just if this song doesn't pop in your head, it's a shame.
Yeah, this would
wanna
be
be like-
great. Yeah, a lot of these are great, just songs to sing to yourself. You
Oh,
know,
Yeah.
they're very memorable. You know, and I like the message in this one a lot. It's
It's very bouncy.
well, the idea of what was it? I've
There's
often
only
been,
one thing that you know how to do well, and that's be
Yes.
you.
Yeah, be what you're like. Be like
Be like-
yourself.
Yeah.
It's just a nice, like, little Dr. Seussian kind of way to say that. You know, like love yourself. You know, it's important. And then just the idea of I'd rather be whistling in the dark too. Just like simple being simply entertained by himself. You know.
This is a very zen vibe to They Might Be Giants, I feel like.
Yeah. Have you?
Their obsession with like morbid things being fun.
Well, I was gonna say, have you ever actually watched the movie They Might Be Giants?
No, I haven't.
There's
Like
a
the George C.
movie?
Scott movie?
Yes,
classic?
I believe so.
That
It-
they get their name from? I haven't watched it.
that is where they get the name from.
Yeah.
And I recommend you watch it, being a fan, because like it feels like something like They Might Be Giants would, be a part of.
into.
Like it's a very They Might Be Giants scenario. Like the main character is a guy that thinks he's Sherlock Holmes, and he's going through all of these like journeys with this person that he's just calling Watson, and she's just going along with it or whatever, and it's just a zany adventure type thing. But they had to have seen that movie, because after I watched that movie, I'm like, you know what? This music makes sense now, because it's that kind of idea that we might be, this might be a sham. I might be Sherlock Holmes. I might not be, but I am for this movie or whatever. Couldn't recommend it more. It's great, fun.
I'll
so-
check it out if I can find it. Yeah.
But yeah, this song in particular, though, makes me think of that movie. Like it could fit into that movie in a few scenes, I think. But yeah, anyone out there that's seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, really, really nice. Another nice, memorable tune. Almost a bar tune,
Kind of, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like that march, like a parade tune, more like a bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the
Walking
element to
home
this
from
is
the
that,
bar.
That bass drum was something that they would perform with. Like John Flansburgh would have a humongous bass drum, and you just like whack it for those big parts.
Yeah, I read that.
Like the
Oh.
marching bass drum. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. Now that you mention that, it does sound like that kind of like I used to play bass drum in marching band, and it's definitely
I did too.
different.
It's a backbreaker.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's percussion in marching band is
I don't
hard,
think my
guys.
shoulders have ever recovered from that.
Right? 'Cause-
Hey, sousaphone is not fun, man.
no,
Fair.
Sousaphones aren't fun either. So
no. I
Hey
mean,
man, a trombone
They're
is hard
serious
on the
business.
shoulder here, fellas.
I think that just being, head to toe in like, polyester.
Any instrument that you
Oh,
have to-
Jake, do you remember that horrible marching gear at Middleton?
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God,
That's
that
one
stuff
reason I
was
continued to
horrible.
play football. That was
Do you know
like I
that-
was gonna always do it, but I didn't have to march during halftime then
Dude,
either. So
nice.
that was
that's why
another
I didn't do
added
it my
bonus.
senior year. That's why I didn't do it my senior year. I did that shit for 2 years, and I was like,
Oh, I
nope,
took a break
no
through.
more marching band.
I took a break throughout most of high school, and then senior year, I was like, "Hey, I'll play tuba because you guys always need a tuba player,"
Duh.
and I half
Bands
learned how to
always
play
need
tuba.
Any instrument you have to wear is
The silent
Yeah.
hero
Yeah.
of,
That
of
includes
the high
guitar.
school band.
Yes,
and accordion.
Yes. They all, after a few minutes, they have weight to them, and
Even an electric guitar.
they affect your body in ways that you would not expect when you see them on stage. But you guys want to get into another? We got 2 tracks actually coming up on this next one.
Smuggled them into each
I've
other.
squashed them together. It was so I try to
Heretic.
do like a few transition pieces whenever we have like a long album like this. But these songs are so distinct. I was having a lot of hard time doing that. So this is
That's
like the
a vindication
smallest.
that you shouldn't do that.
I know, but hey, I'm trying to save time. But there's a smaller gap on this one, and it kind of shows you, like, it gives you an example of the kind of the stark differences between tracks in this album. So
Yes.
this is going to be Hot Cha into Women and Men.
Where are you? Everybody's eyes are closed. I can't see why I miss you so. So hot cha, where are you? Hot cha, where are you? Hot cha, where are you?
You know, this track really reminds me of like
When the ship runs out of ocean and the vessel runs aground, lands where we know the boat is found. Now there's nothing unexpected but the water giving out. Land's not a word we have to.
What am I?
So
The instruments listed on that the Hot Cha song: keyboard, bass, clarinet, drum pad, kitchen sink, refrigerator, oven, and door buzzer.
Yeah, it's like a Bjork album.
okay.
Bass
Oh
clarinet
yeah.
is another staple of John Linnell that is like is the only band that uses a bass clarinet in probably every album at some point.
Bass clarinet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty random. I was gonna say
Extremely
there's
The fridge wasn't?
I was gonna
well.
it's
The
all
fridge is a sampler.
well, I was gonna say the
Bass
only
clarinet is
reason
a real bass
Could
clarinet.
bring the kitchen on tour with us? That'd be great.
well no
Everything but the kitchen sink.
well so I actually have a quote here from the Genius talking about this song from John Flansburgh. On the song Hot Shot, Alan Bezzosi, drummer for the album, and I constructed the drum track by samples of individual sounds of sticks or brushes on the box my Macintosh computer came in. He then triggers those sounds by playing an electric drum pad. So, yeah, these guys are doing all sorts of like weird, techniques when it comes to.
I've been recording pill bottles
Check,
as
check.
shakers for my projects lately. I
Oh,
just
yeah?
made a small bottle
like
of
making
Loratadine.
your
It's,
own pill
perfect.
bottles. Yeah, yeah,
in the spirit of things. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Are you guys hearing my vocals crackle right now?
I am.
But you are on this. But you guys aren't, right?
No.
Okay.
No,
all right.
I don't
All
think
right.
so.
It's just a headphones thing. We don't have to figure it out right now. I was just making sure that the vocals weren't going weird.
We got to do it now, Brad.
Oh, okay.
Brad, fix it,
figure it
Brad.
out
Brad, you're the
now.
host, Brad. You have to
Guess
fix everything,
I
Brad.
could,
Fix
I
it.
could move
Jesus
around the
mercy.
knobs a little bit.
I see Hot Cha is
Hot
actually
Cha.
the name of one of the wooden horses in a lesser celebrated Parker
Actually-
Brothers game called
Jake.
Derby Day
Take
back in the
this.
1920s. So it's a reference to the rhythm of the song, apparently. They weren't trying to make a traditional jazz song by any means. And then it goes on and on, and I'm not going to read anymore. But
You know,
It's
I
just,
like.
it's another Flansburgh. He's having fun with his his samplers. He loves.
You know, I like how that first track. That first track sounds very like '80s. The Hot Cha track. That sounds very much like a good old '80s hit. You know,
Little classic 80s
end of the
proto-digital-
'80s, like
proto-digital equipment.
digital sounds kind of depressing, but it really isn't. You know, maybe it is though.
Where'd Brad go?
He just disappeared behind the door.
He's trying to figure out his headphones.
had to go to the basement to figure it out.
Probably. Well, my
And then-
favorite set of lines was the
Yeah.
second time he went away, left the, the bathtub running over, stereo on and cooking bacon, never came back to tell us why. It's like the most random thing in this entire track.
How about women
In my
and
mind, I
men?
see a horse doing this now.
Anything about women and men?
Women and men. Yeah,
Women
that's another.
and men. That's another complicated subject. You know.
Yeah. We could spend a whole series of albums on women and men. Limit to
We're
one
gonna have a
song.
whole different show on that.
I was gonna say is did you guys talk about it being maybe I don't know. I was thinking maybe it could be like a
We just started
colonization metaphor.
Just like procreation, like the infinite growth of humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
It seems very clear. Like relatively clear.
It really
especially-
seems very women heavy. You know, talking about like how the women.
it's pretty men heavy
women
too,
bring
though.
the love.
It's pretty men heavy as well.
Well, both of
That's
them,
true.
both of them bringing the love.
They're just
They're all
about
bringing the love.
equally
They're just bringing the
represented.
they're bringing the love by having sex. That's what they're bringing the love.
That is
doing-
how the love.
They're doing the
happens.
sex.
Doing the sex.
That is the love.
Yeah.
That is how the love. Happens.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
The God told them to do the sex, you know, and they did the sex, and they went to the shores.
And then they said sex was bad.
And then the
Unless
colonization
you're
happened. That was not
I
fun.
also love the circular metaphor of like soon the stream of people gets wider, then it becomes a river, then it becomes an ocean carrying ships that bear women and men. It's like a lyrical Escher painting.
Yeah, you're right. I
Like,
didn't
really,
notice that.
really clever technique.
And that's how colonization is too. You know, it just keeps on
It's like
happening. And
exponential growth.
when you get to the
an ocean
border,
of people.
Yeah,
becomes-
you just keep
they
going.
sail in an ocean of people.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's women and men all the way down.
Women and men. Women and men.
Women and men.
Women and
Yeah.
men.
Yeah, it's like a ship. It's like a sailing song.
Yeah, shanty. yeah, definitely. Also,
But
this
in a
one
not
also this was the one that also reminded me of the Extraordinaires album that we covered in a previous episode. The whole album of that is kind of in this kind of vein. Which I'm sure that they listened to. They Might Be Giants, like they had to have.
They might be.
They might be.
They might be
have
listening to them.
listening to. They Might Be Giants.
They might have been the Giants.
They might be the
They
Giants.
might be the Giants.
the
We're,
very
That
we're
what we're
segueing
talking
into the
about
wrong
here?
track here. We got to do.
Oh
Sapphire
shit!
Bullets.
They
So-
might be sapphire bullets of pure
How
love.
dare you shoot me in the heart?
So there's no really way to
Nice
transition
try.
into this track. I don't think. Sapphire bullets of pure love isn't
Are you
the
telling
thing I'm
me you're gonna
familiar
shoot
with.
me with some sapphire bullets of love? Jeepers mercy, bro.
I didn't say that. But,
Yeah, I
yeah.
wouldn't
This is
say
what's
that,
about to happen.
yeah.
Pistol shots, gun shots.
Kind of an interesting clip, but
Yeah.
I needed to get that intro in. That's such a beautiful electronic piece. Like I love the sound of the production in this one.
This one has an interesting trajectory to it. Like that banging organ in the middle. It's like very spooky.
Yeah,
Kind of.
yeah. It's
But
got.
then it's not revealed that they're bullets of love until the very end of the song.
Oh, does that not come up to the end?
No.
Oh yeah, okay. So the whole
Just
time you're like
thinking
afraid.
obsessed with bullets, and you're worried that they're going to come after you. But then it turns out
Yeah.
that they're bullets of pure love.
Yep. See, they're always trying to subvert our expectations by the end of the song. Yeah, the regular Ryan Johnsons over here trying to trying to
It's
subvert
the
up
classic American songwriting technique.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I just this really reminded me of like soundtrack music. Like maybe like the Jetsons, the movie soundtrack, I guess, is what I was thinking in particular. There's a few tracks
the
kind
very
of,
electronica feel you get
yeah,
from it.
very like
Yeah.
mid '80s electronic feel for that. Just yeah, I could listen to that track like a couple times in a row. Really enjoyed it.
The title comes from a song by the Mahavishnu Orchestra from the 1973 album Birds of Fire, which
Oh.
the Mahavishnu Orchestra was led by John McLaughlin.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Played some of the stuff by the Mahavishnu Orchestra and John McLaughlin on my show, but not a ton. But they definitely have a very unique sound. So
Yeah, never actually heard of them, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
Also, in recent years, they've attempted to perform this song backwards when they play it live.
What?
I don't know how or why.
Of
I
course,
wish them
Figure that
all
out.
of
the
course
best.
they did. Like that's the they it doesn't surprise me weirdly coming from them because like, well they have that song I Palindrome I, which isn't a palindrome, right? There's not. There's
The
some
bridge
palindromes
the
in
bridge
it.
of the song is technically a palindrome.
Yeah. But it's like this. It's also structured kind of like the song. It's a palindrome. I don't know. It's that one always tripped me up when I was a kid. I couldn't wrap my brain around it because they're just at a higher literary level than I was. You know.
Well, the words it's about parenting, and the words "mom" and "dad" are palindromes. So I think that's sort
Yeah.
of where it came from. Anyway,
Oh, okay. Oh.
back to Flood. We weren't gonna do.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, dude! What?
I'm gonna
Whoa!
have to fucking listen to that again, dude.
Holy crap!
Oh man. But
Pull us through the atmosphere, fellas.
we're almost there. But this is one of our
The
favorite
second
tracks.
theme song
It's the titular track. It's called
for the band.
for the whole band. The titular track for the
titular
band.
track? The titular.
I love it when we get one of these in the albums.
John.
You
Okay,
know, it's their entire career. This is the track. So,
This is their "Hey Hey We're the Monkeys" song.
that's a really good comparison, actually. Yeah. So this is They Might Be Giants.
We can't be silent, 'cause they might be giants, and what are we gonna do unless they are? They might be giants, they might be giants, they might be fall, they might be snow, they might be something else in the snow.
I love it. Although I do almost think that this should be the one that's. Well, I guess it's the theme for They Might Be Giants. So, because they already have the theme at the beginning, theme for Flood, but this is like the theme for, like if they were a TV show or something.
Yeah.
I like in the clip that you got that the low part. The
boy,
Boy.
boy.
You didn't get the sample of like, sorry, everyone needs to hang on tighter.
Oh
did
yeah,
you-
there's a weird sample in the middle
Yeah.
of that. Yeah,
I think this
yeah.
song is like always like is like feels like it's going way too fast off the rails, and then it just like
Yeah.
slows down, and then it starts back up again. It's one of
Yeah.
those really awesome effects.
I think that's what
Which
always
makes it seem even crazier.
Yeah, that's what always like messed with me. I think when I was younger, because I was like, this song's doing it wrong. You know, like why are they doing it this way? Because they just like drag it out until like it feels like almost the
It'll
part where it
stop.
should
It's done.
stop. Yeah,
Like
and then
you
they
could
just
take,
start
like
again.
burn out, and then keep going.
Yeah.
To be fair, they do say "hang on tight" in the beginning of the song. You know?
No, they warn you. They
They
warn
do
you right
warn
out the
you.
gate. Yeah, you got to pay attention. It's not going to be over when you think it is. Just like that Ryan Johnson stuff I was talking about. I don't know why I'm connecting this to Ryan Johnson right now, but yeah, they're doing kind of a similar thing as they do a lot, where they're just saying a lot of random stuff, like they're what was it?
Referencing Dr. Spock.
Yeah, they might be Dr. Spock's backup band, which
Very obscure reference.
sounds
probably,
cool.
Definitely now.
Yeah. I mean, there's a new Spock now, I guess.
No, this is the Dr. Benjamin Spock who wrote the book, the Common Sense book of baby and child care
Wait,
that I learned about in my psych classes
I've heard of that.
for like early childhood development.
Why does he need a backup band though?
huh? That
That's the
does
head
kind of,
scratcher.
but that does kind of weirdly make sense though, because they have kind of like they do children like albums for children sometimes, and I mean it is very accessible. Like it's that's
According
interesting.
to this might be a wiki, at least. So
Okay. Well, that would be really subversive because whenever you hear Spock, well, yeah, because he's not a doctor, right?
He's
Spock.
a mister on the show.
Yeah,
Spock, yeah.
yeah. Good call. I would have gone my entire life thinking that it was Spock, my Leonard Nimoy, my hero. But I think either works. I think the child psychiatrist, author, and Mr. Spock, both of those really fit for They Might Be Giants as a backup band. But yeah, I don't know what the tabloid. Do you know what the tabloid footprints in your hair? Tabloid footprints everywhere.
It's the paparazzi just
Yeah, they just
stepping over you.
Yeah, they can't be
They're
silent.
just like trampling you underfoot.
Yeah, because they were
You can't be
constantly
silent.
being hounded by the paparazzi. I'm assuming they might.
This
be
is their major
giants.
label debut, after all.
This is what? Oh, this is their major label debut.
Major label debut, after all.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, so before this, they were on just an indie label or on their own.
Yeah,
Or?
Bar None, I think.
Okay.
Is the name
Okay.
of it. They have.
Yeah,
there's
and
one
this
other
is Elektra, right?
band. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is
The hip label.
that's part of the reason that they go all bombastic with the intro and this track.
Recording budget like 3 times the last album.
Yeah.
Hiring the Come On Eileen guys.
They're probably just like, well, we gotta let's get those guys. Let's get the Come On Eileen guys.
Yeah.
Why not? It does seem like they're having
Susan
a
at
lot
Elektra
of fun.
wants a radio hit.
Yeah, they need
That
they need
song
one.
sounded great.
And if this goes well, we have a TV show for you that you might be able to write for. Breaking Bad. No. Yeah, I really I would watch if there was a Monkeys style They Might Be Giants television show. Do you guys ever watch the Monkeys, the television show The Monkeys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it?
I used to
haven't-
record
seen
their
episodes.
TV shows onto a cassette and listen to them
Yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah, it was like it was just they were just spoofs of the Beatles movies in a weird way,
I have
right?
seen one of those.
Yeah,
He
there's
helped when I was really little.
yeah, there's a handful of Beatles albums before they go all psychedelic,
Yeah.
and
Hard Day's Night.
Hard Day's Night, Help, others probably. But yeah, the Monkeys though it was just a fun, stupid
And
show for
it was
mop-headed
so bad, but I
dudes.
loved it as a kid.
Yeah.
Only
Although-
guy that sang on that was Davy Jones.
Although I gotta say, so I'm not gonna mention who this is in my personal life. I'm gonna call them out on this. When I was growing up, someone told me that they thought that the Monkees were better than the Beatles.
Oh boy.
And it's like, I get, they're
I can
good.
understand,
They're
like,
a
the
good
Beach
band.
Boys, maybe. If they said the Beach Boys were better than the Beatles, I can respect that.
Yeah, that's a whole
but
different argument.
To say that
Monkees-
a band that's derivative of the Beatles in its very conception
Yeah.
is such a weird thing to say.
Oh. And the American, we need an American Beatles.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're as if the thing that came to my mind, and this is going to be really appropriate because we're from Wisconsin, but if you were
Yeah.
if you were naming them as a type of cheese,
Mm-hmm.
the cheddar cheese would be
I understand now.
would be the Beatles, right? And what kind of cheese would be the Monkees then?
American cheese.
American cheese, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
oh.
Exactly. It's derivative of the
Burn
the
that
original.
cheese
Yeah.
in the fondue pot.
But that being
Derivative of the
said-
standard cheese.
That being said, they have some hits. They have some great, they have a few really good tunes.
Yeah, well, you can make a
But-
decent sandwich with American cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got its uses, but it's just not as good of a cheese. It's not as good of a cheese
Oh
as
my
cheddar.
God.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Jake-
use this analogy
Jake,
for
that's
the person I'm
best
talking
thing
about.
you've said on this whole podcast. You've said a lot of great things.
The
That's the
Patreon bonus
best
episodes
thing
would
you've
be
said.
just matching types of cheeses to
That's
bands from the
fantastic.
60s.
That's not a
That was
bad
a whole
idea.
episode and down the
Yeah,
pipeline.
definitely
can
not
make some
something that we
great-
can have room for on this
You
episode.
can
Yeah,
make
yeah.
some great things with American cheese.
So we have
but it
we have
ain't cheddar.
two extra
since-
episodes. We have our dialects episode and we have our cheese to genre comparison.
Oh, it's cheesy.
Oh, it's gonna be. cheesy.
I 2 years
It ain't
ago.
easy being
almost-
cheesy.
Wait, Jake. Oh no, Jake,
Go on.
you froze.
Oh, he's back.
Repeat it.
Oh, was I?
Yeah, you froze.
I was saying if you had to name what type of cheese you were, what type of cheese would you be and why? That was a question I asked my friends a couple of years ago. So maybe we could get that into that.
That's I was
During
gonna
bonus
say
episode.
that's a very big discussion,
That's a
and
big-
Right? Yeah,
I'll
that's
definitely need
not
to think about
not
it.
for now.
Yeah.
It's like a three-hour roundtable discussion right there.
Yeah. No, that's that could take a
I mean,
while. That
there's
could be
so
that could be
many
a
different
two-parter.
cheeses, like my blue cheese because I'm chunky. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyways,
But yeah, we got one more track for you guys though. I don't know what cheese this one is. We'll determine that maybe after the clip. But this is Nothing's Gonna Change My.
Well,
Wait,
wrong album.
What? Why did it change? Oh, they might be giant. This track is on different albums. That's right. Genius.
There is an album called They Might Be Giants that does not have the song They Might Be Giants on it. So it's not technically the titular track. Sorry, John.
Wait.
titular.
Well, it's like it's titular of the band, the titular band.
Yeah, the titular of the
that.
band, but not of the album.
But
because there's
it is
already an
weird
album.
though that they have an album called They Might Be Giants in which they do not have that track. That's very atypical.
It was written around that time, but I think it was saved for this one so they could cram it full of.
Yeah,
Junk.
I could see why they saved this one. It was worth the wait.
Yeah.
But no, this is a road movie to Berlin. So here we go on road movie to Berlin.
Can't drive out the way we drove in. So sneak out this glass of bourbon and we'll go.
I love those
Brought some
organs.
bourbon to this.
The album.
That's a good outro.
So it feels very final.
Yeah, especially with what we've been talking about with like bar songs. Like this is like this
Yeah,
seems
it's
like
kind
an
of
end
another
of the
one like
night.
Time to
kind
go
of.
home, everybody.
Yeah. We should just start to sing They Might Be Giants songs in public spaces and make They Might Be
haven't done that
Giants the official bar song band. You know, because
Landsberg
they're simple.
later,
They're easy enough to
stated-
remember. You know.
in the Rolling Stone interview, this song was designed to feel like a fragment of some barroom song, just starting up again and again. Even though the verse is resolved, there's a little bit of tension that is left hanging each go around, and that hopefully is a bit more unsettling with each verse. My voice is slowed down, which is kind of creepy.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not a that final chord is not a resolution at all.
No.
Musically.
It sounds like it's going into another track or another
the same verse
something.
again. It's like goes
Yeah.
resolved in that verse.
Does it
Also,
wrap
worth
around to
noting
the
that-
first track?
What's up?
Does it wrap around to the first track by any chance?
I don't think so for
Haven't
this
checked.
one. Hold
I don't.
on, let me
I
see if I
doesn't
still
seem.
have
I
it
don't
up.
think that. I don't think they're in the different keys.
Let's just double check.
Why is the world?
Nope, not at all. That's right. It goes right into that thing at the beginning. But
Also worth mentioning that the Berlin Wall had just come down.
oh right,
Thanks, David Hasselhoff.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot about that. So I don't know what the statement is then, but we're in a road movie to Berlin. Oh, I think that the Genius Notes were saying that they're kind of, it could be referencing. Let's see. Oh, yeah. In film, road movies are films that have characters leaving home for long, life-changing travels. So, yeah, like the movie they give it as an example is Road to Utopia. So
Would Easy Rider be considered a road movie?
Oh,
Midnight Cowboy, maybe.
Ho, ho, ho.
I don't.
Easy Rider's a great movie.
Yeah, that movie's insane.
Yeah.
I've been to that cemetery, by the way.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of just the heroes.
My sister lived down in New Orleans.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
My sister and my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law wanted to live there when they first got married.
Yeah.
So we visited them once a year.
Sounds like a magical
we
place.
Went, yeah. Wow. No, it's not. There's a lot of good food. It's a lot of fun. You see a lot of gators though. Oh, they're everywhere.
Well, if you're down to wrestle a gator, I assume it's probably better.
But I'm not. So
I'm
glad I live up here.
I haven't crossed that bridge yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could wrestle a gator.
I mean,
small one.
Maybe a small one.
I saw maybe
a small one, but it'd probably take a finger off of me.
That's the risk you take.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah, it's just a nice. It's a perfect like close to this album. Like you could put this at the end of several albums, I think, and it would give you the kind of emotional note that it has at the end there, because it is a great kind of somber.
It doesn't really fit anywhere else on the album because the rest of the album is so high energy.
That's true. Yeah, like if this was track like 5, it would just. What would that go into? Maybe the ones that started really electronically, track 17. I forget the name of it.
Sapphire Bullets?
Maybe that one. But I don't know. I think it's perfect where it is.
Yeah, that's good.
But
what a wild ride it's been.
What a wild fucking ride, guys.
What a crazy party.
But before
it was fun, guys.
Before we get on to the final segment, we asked you a question before the podcast, and I wonder if you have your Desert Island albums.
I can only really think of one off the top of my head.
All right.
It wasn't this one.
Okay.
It probably might be one of the 5. I don't know.
Okay.
But the album that came to mind to me was Aphex Twin's Selected Ambient Works Volume 2.
Okay.
This is kind of a weird, but it's.
I need to get more Aphex Twin because people keep on mentioning that as being an inspiration of some kind. So
it was definitely an inspiration for me when I was in high school. It was like the first time I kind of heard electronic music.
Yeah.
As it were, like purely electronic music, and this was a particularly weird one because it's very. It's
atmospheric.
I don't know how to describe it. It's hard to describe it, which is why
I've heard like one Aphex Twin song because like there was a rap song that referenced Aphex Twin, a specific song, and then
Kanye song.
I think might be a different
West song that samples him.
Well, this is a rapper. This is a more underground rap. This was Illogic is who I'm talking about, that we had on the Pick Apart the Passion podcast. But yeah, they had a song that literally, like, it was just one of the lyrics is like talking about how he's listening to this one specific song of Aphex Twin on repeat, hanging out at home. So I was like,
Twin,
must be inspirational.
He has a lot of like hard, like rave techno dance material, but then this album is just like is no beats on it, or there's very few beats.
Okay.
It's from very like pretty atmospheric pieces to like these dark, like straight up scary pieces.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to this with someone who was like super high, and they like were literally terrified of one of these songs that came on.
It's freaking me out, man.
It was like freaked out.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's also I think 2.5 hours long. two discs. They're both
that's
crammed.
That's a good Desert Island album.
They're both discs are crammed to the point of overflowing, and I think there's some that are on the record. The 6-sided record that aren't on the CD.
Yeah. It'd have to be
It's such like an album that it's relaxing even when it's kind of disorienting.
I'm going to really look into that. Like it's I don't know what I'm expecting at all, but just
it's hard to describe. Really,
for people's reaction, it seems very moving.
Yeah.
So, all right, yeah.
There's some pretty stuff on it, and then there's some scary stuff on it. But it's all very easy to sit with and meditate with.
Yeah. So Aphex Twin and possibly Flood.
Possibly.
Even
Flood
though
or Apollo 18.
Okay.
Or
okay.
I don't know.
One of those albums.
One of those early. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If I could take an MP3 CD with all of the Might Be Giant stuff on it, that could fit on
that
it.
you could put on shuffle.
Yeah. On shuffle.
We might have to add a CD player to the Desert
Sand.
Island. You know, we might have to add ourselves like just.
Yeah, you need to specify like the format. Like it. Is it a CD?
Normally it
is.
Normally it has been a record. You know.
Can I burn something?
The album is so.
But we'll see if we can maybe get a CD player shipwrecked onto the island, so we can get those hidden tracks and special CD extras. CD Plus.
Yeah.
You get extra features on the CD.
Shipwrecked with a Walkman is the best ideal situation.
Yeah. I mean, that's Guardians of the
It's got
Galaxy.
batteries.
Right?
You don't need to. It's
a Zune.
He has a Zune now.
Charge it. You could just replace the batteries, though. You don't need to charge it. If you just had a Walkman and a bunch of batteries and one CD, you'd be set for years.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But,
of course, you need a food source and.
Well, yeah, there's all this actual
other
survival
stuff
things, but
relevant,
music will really help your mind.
Music is the energy, the nutrition.
We do have coconut. We do have coconut drinks at the island.
Cool.
Available. So there's some nutrition, but you probably got to.
You have like a tiki bar, maybe?
We're working on one.
Do you have like a little?
We've been fishing a bit.
Box that like sits on the table and like plays.
Not yet. Like I said, we only
CD
have the one record player right now, and it's powered.
We do have
by,
Monkey Butlers though.
We do have Monkey Butlers.
That's pretty cool. That's cool.
But sometimes they just hit us and run away. So
they are monkeys. I mean,
that's true. They do about a third of the time.
Only butler for about a third of the day.
We're all just monkeys, though. I mean, really.
Do you have monkey bartenders though? That's a good question.
We're
really pissing my drink if I
also
it's like playing Russian roulette.
We're also working on that.
Monkey.
We're gonna try to get a trainer shipwrecked if we can. We've been talking to the pirates that are at bay.
I mean, I'd be happy if you just knew how to make a gin and tonic.
We build a fake lighthouse and have ships come to us.
Oh, dude, that's a good idea, Dave.
You can kill off a fake lighthouse in the Argonauts.
Yeah.
A fake lighthouse in a really big fog machine.
Yes, like a Scooby-Doo island of sorts. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
But we're going to get into our last segment. Before we get out of here, we're going to go around and find out what everyone has been listening to or what you have to plug. So I'll start this time. I have been listening to the Album Concept Hour Desert Island Discord exclusively, and I will continue to listen to that until I get 50 people in the Discord. We're at about, I think, 35 now, so we got a few last week.
Yeah, I got a couple people to join.
Yeah, we got some more Desert Island 5s. And we want you to go to our Discord in the description. Link is down there. And when you come in, tell us what your top 5 Desert Island albums are. We will add a track or two from each onto our playlist, and then you can listen to whatever everyone is listening to on the Desert Island. Other than that, as far as plugs go, I'm just going to say patreon.com/flyoverstatepark. We have side B. And we have we're about a fifth of the way through Sufjan Stevens' 50 States project that we're completing, state by state. And I think that this is going to come out right the day before Joey Clift is on. So if you're listening to it right now, go check out Joey Clift on different podcast guest appearances. We're going to have him live on Side B to discuss one of his albums from his Our 50 States project, where he completed the Sufjan Stevens project.
That's awesome.
Oh, I
with
heard
user
this, yeah.
submissions.
Cheers to that.
So yeah, we're gonna have him on to talk about the process. When you're listening to this, it should be tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Central on twitch.tv/Raw Evil Gaming, which is the co-host of Side B's Twitch stream. And yeah, if you want, just go there now, follow him. That way, you know, once the episode is coming out, you will get a notification and whatnot. But yeah, we're really excited to have him on. He was very, you know, kind to respond to us, talking about his album and his project and everything. So Joey Clift is who I'm plugging, along with Side B and the Patreon, where you can find the backlog. What about you, John? I'm going to spring it on you, John. What are you listening to lately?
I've been listening to a lot of Steve Miller Band, my friend.
Steve Miller
You know,
Band, okay.
That man is a little. He's a lot of appreciated, but he's a little underappreciated in his time. You know, he's got
Yeah,
a lot of great hits that you know you just kind of listen to and just jam out to.
Yeah, I did. You know, I like me some Steve Miller. I used to have the greatest hits, and I would, you know, throw that on every now and again because they're very, you know, they're
It's
personally powerful songs.
It's a good greatest hits album.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus, you know that because I've been thinking about a lot. There's doing a new Space Jam.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's not out yet,
Pepe Le
but
Pew,
it's coming
sadly,
out
but,
soon.
you know, it's
Yeah.
coming out soon.
Steve Miller, another Wisconsin born,
story.
you know, and I
okay.
think
He used
that's
to hang out at the Village Green, fellas.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, very true.
in Middleton. We have to reference where this place is.
Middleton, Wisconsin.
Middleton, Wisconsin.
Yes.
Yeah.
The owner actually, I think it's still the owner. He used to play in the band, so
Oh, all right, all
Village
right.
Green.
Yeah.
We have our
Yeah.
6 degrees of Steve
I used to
Miller
go there
up in
randomly
here.
for lunch on my lunch breaks.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
burgers.
Very good
Otherwise,
burgers.
You ate where Steve Miller was
I
at
know.
some point.
You walked where he walked.
He was in the same place.
legendary.
Same
The
vicinity.
legend says there's a
The
bowling
stool.
alley in the bottom of
The
the
Steve
basement.
Miller stool.
You
Yeah.
can still smell his butt.
You can still smell his butt if you really
Fantastic.
lean down. But yeah, okay, all right. So what have you been listening to?
Otherwise, listen to my my friend Umsky's Talking
That's
Highly.
right. Talking highly.
He's, that's my plug, and my good old friend co-host Jake the Snake Foster. Listen to him on his radio show as well, please.
Hell yeah. Speaking of which, Jake, what have you
Thank
been
you, thank
listening
you.
to? What do you got to plug?
Well, I was gonna just tie this in quick. Like a couple of years ago, my sister babysat for Steve Miller's like niece or something, and was
Nice.
trying to get me a promo from Steve Miller, but never worked out. So
Okay.
still
so
working on that,
sad.
but
That would have been a nice.
yeah, that would have
nice
been a good
little
one.
clip.
Yeah,
Yeah. The Steve Miller you're listening to, Jake the Snake Foster? Yeah, that'd be dope.
yeah,
That
yeah,
that'd be a game changer.
yeah. That'd be a good one.
Game changer.
Always
Dude,
always
your
looking
radio
for more
show-
of those. So
Go national.
Hot commodity.
more promos, the better.
Yeah.
So Silas, if you want to do a promo for my radio show, I'm always looking for more stuff. So
All right, sure. We can whip something up.
yeah.
Good.
The
Thank you for
radio
reminding
show's
me.
actually on Spotify now. I've been talking
cool.
about it for like, I don't know, a month, and I did it wrong for a while, and then Spotify did me wrong by not like posting it. So finally got it going, and it's there like as of tonight. So
Nice. Okay.
Under the covers?
Under the covers with Jake the Snake Foster, the podcast, and it's
Okay.
if
okay.
you have if you're like paying for Spotify, you can get the entire thing with all the music, just like a normal radio show.
Here it is.
And found it.
I did find it.
Great.
Look how easy that is. You
Look
can
at Under the
find
Covers
it.
with Jake the Snake Foster, the podcast, exactly like this.
Yes.
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 And we I wasn't gonna do this, but I think last week I talked about this like new thing we were gonna do Between the Sheets was the
Oh yeah, that's
is
right.
the like our special with like a particular artist. My
Yeah,
friend Brent
yeah.
joined me and we recorded it, and I was like, you know what, we did all this work, we might as well put it together. So it's there, and it might not sound too great, but it's the first one.
Okay.
And
awesome, man.
so
Nice.
Tony Iommi of Black Sabbath, but that's what I've been working on, and it'll continue to be there as well as live on 91.7 Wednesday mornings from 6 to 8 in the morning Central Time, and then Sunday afternoons out of Mazo 92.5 WISY. So
Nice. Nice. Good plugs. What about you, Dave? What have you been listening to, and what do you got to plug?
A lot of deep dive on some old punk and pop punk bands from my past.
Okay.
Enemy U, Marl Crux, Methadones, Wellingtons,
Oh yeah,
Riverdales,
yeah.
Dirtbike Andy, Vindicates. Just went through just a lot of those old stuff. I was trying to make a playlist for something, and I
Yeah.
just one after another just kept going for albums and bands. And this last week, I'm like, hi, these are great. It's
You
just
do
like,
have a really great
enjoying it.
taste in pop punk.
huh?
You have a great taste in pop punk. Like, you know all the good stuff.
And there's a lot of bands I'm glad I was actually got a chance to see too. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of memories.
Nice. Nice. Hell yeah. What about you, Silas? What have you been listening to, or what do you have to plug?
Well, I've been getting into the band of Montreal lately. Highly recommended. Never
Yeah.
really listened to them, and then last month I
It's been
just
a
like
long
went
time since I.
down the rabbit hole
Yeah.
so hard.
That's good stuff.
Right now I'm listening mostly to Satanic Panic in the Attic. I really dig in
Okay.
that one.
Yeah.
And also been listening to a lot of Basic Channel, this like
Okay.
strange dub duo from dub tech. They're kind of like the pioneers of dub techno,
Oh.
because they have
Okay.
like a bunch of like 12 inches that are very long and very repetitive. And I'm going back to school, so it's trying to get back into learning how to study.
Oh yeah.
So it's just something to have like in my ears something repetitive but not like ambient. Just
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
kind of-
Yeah.
kind of energetic, but still
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
good mood, good vibes.
Yeah. Do you find it hard to listen to stuff with words when you're studying?
Oh, for big time.
Yeah, yeah. I
I like
love
listen-
listening to music, but I think about
Yeah.
the lyrics too much when I'm listening.
Yeah.
But-
And I'm also plugs.
We got
Say-
the Pleasure Center. You got an album coming
Pleasure
up.
Center. We
Yeah.
got now coming out. We don't know when. I'm mastering it right now. I'm kind of been.
Oh, you're mastering it?
Yeah.
Oh, you do that part too. Wow.
Yeah. I'm trying to get. I'm getting the hang of it finally.
Okay.
Getting the hang of it is very much like a magical process.
It is weird.
Yeah.
I've only mastered like audiobook type stuff and not well. But yeah, it is the
Yeah.
strangest part of the process, I think.
So yeah, we're shooting that for the summer, and then
Yeah.
I'm doing a collaborative EP with a fellow Sad Melker, Idle
Okay.
Brain. Should be out in a couple months.
By the way,
my
just
new album.
check out Sad Milk Collective on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Just you can look it up. There's a bunch of
Our
videos.
huge extended Lowell family. Of
Yeah, a lot of
weirdos
great
and
content
punks.
there. Yeah.
We got new Inspector 34 album.
Yep.
New
Yep.
Idle Brain album. Dad Doxer. Great bands. Amazing band names.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
You could throw up a link to our aggregate page.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, throughout the month, I mean, you're going to be learning all about the different
yes.
arms of Sad Milk Collective. So, yeah, I'm
Yes.
really, really excited to get you all together. Well, not together. We had you together already.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Sure that was.
Yeah, yeah. And then any new stuff coming out for FOMO Surfer or anything?
I've got this. Well, my last album came out in January, From a Dark Place. And
Yeah, it's pretty.
I've been thinking
still
about
pretty
putting out
new.
a 7-inch, like my first analog risk, because I wrote this really good song about foot fetishes, and I want it to be something special.
And you want to put it on wax.
I want to put it on wax.
Yeah, yeah. Nice, nice. That's badass.
Maybe get some of my feet smelling in there. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah, I
Crash
mean,
and snap.
Maybe you open the record.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I gotta play the market.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe have the record cut as a foot.
Nice. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, that'd be that'd be an interesting design.
My foot's got a weird shape, so I don't know if that's like.
It'd have to be like
Weird.
it'd have to be like a bigger like
No, it'd have to be.
it'd be
It's,
like a hobbit foot kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a few
Yeah,
weird
like a
cut ones, like the
profile.
Father John Misty, which is just a giant heart.
My foot's got a weird
It does this weird shape. It's really bony.
John's done tonight. John's
I'm done.
All right.
but
Sorry, fellas.
no
I'm so
Cool.
sorry.
And this is the
That's
hot
all right.
content you get for Patreon.
That's
Yes.
true. Only on
Patreon subscribers,
Patreon.
Yeah.
$30 a month.
You'll know what John's talking about on Patreon. Yeah.
And are you curious enough to
$30
join
a month to get
Patreon?
foot pics. The foot pics are more expensive than the nudes
That yeah,
for some reason.
If you can get on WikiFeet, that
Yeah.
you can really get some traction. But anyway,
This was
I
a great
think
time, fellas.
yeah. Do you have anything else to plug before we get out of here?
Do you?
I think that's it. I think that's it.
I think
We've
that's
gotten
it for me,
through
too.
all of They Might Be Giants flood.
We made it through the flood.
This
We
was
made
a
it through the
pretty good
flood.
album.
Yeah.
This was a
Thanks
flood
for
of
the
all-
You
suggestion.
live, laugh,
Bunch
love
of
along the
stuff.
way.
Yeah, thanks for the suggestion. It's a great addition to what
This
we've
is a
done.
lot of fun.
And yeah, I can't.
Nitpicking trivia and
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for
You're
coming
great.
on. Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Seriously.
And yeah, I can't wait till the pandemic's over and I can go and see one of your groups live or something.
yeah, maybe we'll come. Hopefully we'll come to you.
Hey, listen, we will make that happen. I know.
You'll be the end point for.
Yes,
our
we
venture
know.
out west.
We know the music people around here. We'll find you a venue and shit. Like once the after times happen, whenever that is.
After times.
Yeah. There was the before times.
There's the before times.
There's the times which we're in
We're at the
currently.
times now.
We're in
The
the
fours
times.
and the afters.
Yeah. But yeah. No, it's been great having you on. We really appreciate
Yeah.
it. And
for having
thanks everybody for listening to the Album Concept Hour. We will see you
We love
next
all
week
of you.
with another member of Inspector 34, probably, but I'm not sure which one.
Who's it gonna be?
Who's
I'm
it
so
gonna
excited
be?
To find out.
I have no idea.
I'm not even gonna ask them. I'm just gonna be surprised.
Yeah, right. No, we'll have to. We'll keep you all separate, and then I'll ask you questions about each other. Start some off mic beef. Hell yeah. But yeah, thanks for joining us.
I'll definitely have to listen in to get the answers.
Yes, you have to listen to the
those.
next episode for that's just the teaser. That's just a tease for the next one. So thank you all for
Just
joining
a
us,
tip.
and we will see you next time
Thanks for band gossip.
on the Album Concept Hour.
See y'all next
Bars.
time.
All right, see you next time.
Bye.
I'll get you later.
Thanks for listening. The Album Concept Hour is Brad LeBaron, Dave Gallagher, John Aker, and Jake Foster. Special thanks to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for the theme music. Please like us on Facebook or friend us on Twitter or MySpace and let us know what concept album you would like to hear on the podcast. See you on Side B. This is Flyover State Park. You are clear to land.